want weirdo or do you want it?
If you don't really know what's going on, there's a show that also doesn't know what's going on. Call that radio TV. You call that radio. Call that radio TV. You call that radio TV.
Good evening and welcome to You Call That Radio TV. It's been a shite day, a shite week and a shite year. I can only hear out of one ear. But I am delighted to say that this is the Poetry Slam final to find out who is the best poet in the universe and the world right now in the year 2021. As you can see, Martin Windebank made a beautiful flyer that I added some stuff to because it was wrong. We have a sacrificial poet of Kevin P. Day joining us, and we have the final with Gordon Powrie, Time Gypsy, D'arc Natalie Jayne Clark. Let's go to our judges. One of them is going to be crowned the champion as the best poet in the universe, and they will go through to the final of the Scottish finals at the Tron Theatre in January. We'll go live to our judges. We've got Jim Monahan.
How you doing, Matt?
We've got Jenny Foulds.
Hi.
We've got Martin Windebank. And we've got our very own Turboughton's answer to Carol Vorderman. Sammy B and Majiko checking the scales and the dares. How's everyone doing? He's all good?
Yeah, good. You're right.
Yep.
What's wrong with your luck?
I don't know, I can't hear it. So I've not been able to really do it. That's why I didn't really do a sound check there, because I was like, I don't know if it sounds good.
I'm really
glitchy.
excited for this and that, Mark. It's going to be a belter. I've been looking forward to it for last
I'm
week.
excited to it. Can is sparked. I'm looking forward to just enjoying this because
I've had I got my booster yesterday. I feel like shit all day today, so spend a Wednesday night listening to 4 fucking poets just sounds like an absolute nightmare. But I'm hoping it might lift my spirits. You know, it couldn't be any worse. You know, the way I've been feeling all day. So,
Okay,
So-
I can't wait for your new jingle. I can't wait for you to sing the jingle again.
yes, Sammy B does have a Wheel of Fortune jingle. In fact, I need to find the wheel. Also, I forgot to ask you, but I'd like to hear a poem for Jim tonight. I'd like to hear a poem for Jenny, and maybe even a song for Martin if there's time.
I
So
don't
if
know
you're up for
about
that, have a wee think about what you might.
that. Everybody will judge me. That's no good.
Well, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Fair's fair and all that. We've got our first. Well, actually, I need to find the Wheel of Fortune, so I'm going to do that just now. The random name generator, and we had it was. If you've not watched the semi-finals yet, you can watch the semi-finals after the show, which was amazing. We had 9 poets, I believe, that did battle in the semis, and it was a very close competition. Sammy, how close was the competition last week?
It was about a ball here, Mark. Honestly, I thought who went through and who didn't. Close. Rat close. Ball here.
Well, we're going to go and find out who are, just to kind of show people how this whole game works. We've got our sacrificial poet in the house. It's Kevin P. Day of Scribblers Union, who is celebrating his last day of isolation. How are you feeling, Kev?
I feel like shite still, but I'm just happy to be getting out the house tomorrow, and it's coincided with everybody else going into isolation, so that's worked out well for me. A good time.
Did you get ill? Were you actually ill after it?
I was absolutely fucking dying, Mark. I was really ill. I felt really bad for a good few days, actually. So obviously I'm looking great now, just very healthy, but for a few days, I was absolutely dying my arse.
You've done poetry slams before. What's your lasting memory of doing a poetry slam?
Mostly disappointment. No, I mean, some of them have been great. I've had a good laugh doing poetry slams over the years, and what I always say to people is don't take it too seriously, because I always just look at the faces of the judges, and if I don't have any respect for them, then why would I have any respect for their opinion? So ask yourself that before you perform a poem. That's all I'm saying.
We've got the wheel. I don't know if you've ever done a slam where there's a wheel of fortune that picks the names for you.
I've never. This is advanced stuff for me.
Yes.
Pure razzmatazz.
So as you can
Showbiz,
see,
mate. Showbiz.
so let's see, Kevin Peagle Day. That's your name spinning round there. So we're going to no expense spared. I'm going to click it to see. So basically, this is just to give you a rough idea. We've got the actual semi-final, the actual finalists are backstage just now. So Kevin can't win the slam, but just to give you an idea, we're going to do the spinning the wheel. See if Kev comes up first. If he does, then he's going to then do a poem, and then he's going to be critiqued by Jim, Jenny, and Martin, and Sammy will add up the scares and the dares. Let's click the wheel to see who it is.
Spin, spin, spin the wheel of poetry. See who's the poet's gonna be. It's Kevin.
It's Kevin Peagle Day.
Wow.
Against all odds, it's Kevin Peagle Day. And take it away, Kev.
Thank you. So I'm going to do this new-ish piece for you. And this is a poem about cancel culture, which, by the way, isn't a real thing. It's not a real thing. It's made up. It's something that the right-wing press has made up so that you tell all your pals to shut up and police everything that they're going to say and cancel people for Twitter because they once used the wrong word or whatever, instead of having a conversation with them and say, hey, you're going to not use that word, that's not cool. So yeah, this is about cancel culture and the way that it's kind of, even that phrase feels like it's everywhere just now. And actually, it's just a big right-wing scam so that they can do whatever the fuck they want, say what they want, and have us police each other while they keep on getting fucking radio shows and front pages where they say, I've been cancelled, and here's all the details across a 5-page spread. So, yeah, here we go. It's called, In the Future, Everyone Will Be Cancelled for 15 minutes. The purity test must be passed. Your history ransacked for muck. Context is relative if you simply don't give a fuck. Your fave is problematic, and so is your love. Look, I don't make the rules, okay? They're decreed from above. Your mask slipped once. Now you've forfeited your humanity, and there's a digital mob at the door testing the edges of your sanity. The rules of engagement pushed to their limits. In the future, everyone will be cancelled for 15 minutes. Nuance is cancelled. Forgiveness is cancelled. Perspective is cancelled. Your old da is cancelled. Listening is cancelled. Understanding is cancelled. Debate is cancelled. This ScotRail service is cancelled. Perfection attained through fear. Here's the line, stick to it. Say it aloud, then toe it. Repeat it like a holy writ. Expectations have been set at a frankly unachievable height. Still, failure will not be tolerated when we've outlined what is right, though the memo was internal and never distributed widely. It's up to you to stay informed and to regurgitate blindly. Feel the warm glow of superiority. Let it lift your waning spirits. In the future, everyone will be cancelled for 15 minutes. Subtlety is cancelled. Respect is cancelled. Dissent is cancelled. Your shitty poetry is cancelled. Opinion is cancelled. Opposition is cancelled. Deviation is cancelled. Your existence is cancelled. And I'm so scared I'll get it wrong. Rouse a skeleton to emerge walking. From the dark recesses of my wardrobe, let the past do all the talking. And there won't be any defence, because a bluebird doesn't listen. Just a public defenestration and an unyielding presupposition. But I am part of the problem. Preach understanding while holding the whip. Hope others' misdemeanors will deflect as I maintain my tenuous grip. We need patience in place of exile, change powered by the love within it. Or in the future, everyone will be cancelled for 15 minutes. Cheers, thank you.
Strange mood of our time.
You call that radio?
Makes coherent sense.
Excellent stuff from Kevin P. Gaudet. Let's go to the judges, and we'll start with the Scottish Slam champion, Jenny Foulds.
Kevin, that was brilliant. I love your stuff anyway, but I'm not judging it on the fact that I love your stuff. I thought it was amazing. You had some lovely rhymes in there. You're absolutely spot on about the right wing and cancel culture. The right wing can get to fuck. Really loved the performance. You were really into it. And I love the play on the Andy Warhol quote of everyone will be famous for 15 minutes, but everyone will be cancelled for 15 minutes. I'm going to give you a 9.1.
Woo!
A 9.1. Martin Windebank.
Yeah, amazing stuff, man. That was, if you call that radio had a poem, it could be that. I mean, I think that's it's a good solid message there, and everyone should hear it. I think it's one of those poems everyone should hear. So if I'm feeling like that, it's one of these poems everyone should hear. It's good. It's good for me to listen to it. It's good for everyone to listen to it because I mean, it's true. It's true. Everyone's put the bar is set an imaginary bar, so it's set very high. So it's good to remember that. So I'd give it a high mark, man. I don't know. I'll give it like a 10, man. I'll give that a 10.
It's a 10.
I liked it a lot.
It's the first 10 of the year.
First 10 of the year. Great.
Can Kevin P. Gaudet get a 10 from Jim Monahan?
I would say for the other ones who are about to join in or other people watching in, don't do a new poem in a slam unless you've rehearsed it a lot. But it was actually pretty good, I hate to say. It might get you cancelled though, which would be funny. But good points, I totally agree with it. Like Jenny, I like the Warhol thing. Warhol actually changed this thing. You get fed up with everybody talking about that. In the future, everybody will be famous for 15 minutes. They changed it. It says, no, I've changed my mind. They said in 15 minutes, everybody will be famous. Which is, but I think it's a wee bit poetry voice at times, but it's also really good, really clever. And also, I think Kevin is celebrating this week his 5 years of making the most ludicrous decision to give up work to make a living as a poet in Scotland. So I'll have to mark him up for that. So I'll give it 7.8. Which might be my highest ever, actually.
It's the highest one. Well seen, it's not the actual competition. Because sadly, Kevin, the high scores mean absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things because you're out already, even because you're not in the competition. But that's just to let everyone know how the show's going to go tonight. We've got 4 amazing poets in the final go head to head to see who the champion of the universe of all poetry is. And then if they win the best poet in the universe, then they get to find out if they're the best poet in Scotland, like Jenny did last year after winning You Call That Radio's Best Universe Poet in the Universe. She won Best Poet in Scotland and went on to win runner-up in the World Finals. Before we bring on the poets and do the Wheel of Fortune and get on with the actual competition, Kev, you are been an artist for 5 years. Congratulations on that, an actual full-time artist. So I'm sure you've got something that you need to plug.
Well, the next event coming up is the premiere of Exiles, which is on in February at Webster's Theatre. Which was Exiles, if you didn't see it when it first came out, it was a kind of spoken word film that I directed that is all Victoria McNulty's work. It's like an adaptation of her book, so it's her kind of performing it. At this point, I don't know why I'm plugging anything at the start of next year, but if there's anything happening at that point, come and see us. So that'll be Webster's Theatre at the start of February.
And it's an amazing film. If you haven't seen it, I was lucky enough to catch Victoria. I mean, obviously, I'd seen Victoria's work many times, but to see her in a kind of film setting, it's incredible. And it was only available for like 1 day or 2 days. Is there any chance that might come back at some point, Kev? Because I've been speaking very highly of it, and then people can't actually watch it at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that one's kind of up to Victoria. It's her work and it's her piece, but hopefully people will come along and see it in that kind of live setting, because that was the thing. We didn't get to share it with everybody. We didn't get to be in the same room as everybody watching it. So I'm really hoping we get the chance to do that next year.
Also, Kev, we've got some comments coming in about your poem. Colin says, glad I tuned in just in time to see Jim's high score. This is Colin. Alan McGilvery's in the house. Congratulations on the benchmark, Kevin. The poem was sublime. You've got ooh from Epi. Don't cancel the cancel poem, says Danny. Great poem, says Petra. Your old man says, well fucking done. Fantastic, says Mary. Yo, says Stephen. Love that poem, says Ross. Cancel the challenges, we have a winner, says Epi. Colette says, yes, I've got the telly and phone running at the same time. Amazing. Love Baby Doll. Amazing, Kevin says.
Was that every emoji there is there? Was that every emoji?
That was... Colette has the
you just press select all.
And hi to the... I don't know what that means, Colette. To the boo heads meant here. I don't know what. And it's we're also getting some shout outs to the high as fuck technology that we have, the spinning wheel. Missed the semi final, get an audience buy-in at the final, bring it on, judge the judge. Good evening, everyone. Hello, Mary. Hello, Greg. Hi, Epi. Is Sammy B? Is Pixie Broon out of a WW costume? Wonder Woman. For people that don't know, Sammy B is Wonder Woman by day, is it? You Wonder Woman by day and Sammy B by night?
Listen, Mark, it's just whenever, if anybody needs me to know what to do, 3 spins and a kick, and I'll be there.
And shouts to Connell Cassidy, who's in the house as well. We are, I think, ready for the start of the...
Sorry, can I just show that I've got my favourite drummer on my t-shirt, Lynette?
Oh.
Animal!
Well, maybe Animal could help you play some percussion as we go to the Wheel of Fortune. It's 4 poets in here. We've got Time Gypsy, Gordon Powrie, Natalie Jayne Clark, and Joe D'arc. One of them will be crowned champion tonight. There's going to be 2 poems each in the semi-finals of the final kind of thing, and then it'll be sudden death, 1 poem, sudden death finale as well. So lots to look forward to. If you're ready, Sammy, I'm ready to spin the wheel.
Spin, spin, spin the wheel of poetry. This coming up to the finals, and I'm all excited. Who's first? Natalie Jayne Clark.
So that means that Natalie Jayne Clark will be the first poet and also the 5th poet. Is that how we're doing it, Jim?
Yeah.
So,
No. It's reverse. Sometimes judges can be guilty of score creep, so it goes up and up and up and up. So if you're at a disadvantage for going first in the first round, you get to go last in the next round. So Natalie's first and last. Whoever's second is second and second last, third and third last, fourth and fifth. So whoever goes last goes on twice in a row, after the break. That's what I think. That's
fine. I trust you to keep me right.
Yeah.
Natalie Jayne Clark's first on. Thank you very much, Kevin P. Good day.
Kevin, it was lovely
good luck.
To see you.
I hope to see XLs in the real world in February. Bye. Yeah. Bye, Kev.
Bye, Kevin.
And let's bring on Natalie Jayne Clark. The rules are, there's not many strict rules, but if you go over 3 minutes, you may be deducted points, as what happened to a couple of poets last week, such as, I think Tickle especially, angered the judges a little bit by going over by about 7 minutes. So that's about it. Welcome, Natalie. Congratulations for getting into the final, and please take it away.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to start just battering. Start with a wee trio. This is a teacher trio. 1, chip roll haikus. A chip roll is what you get if you really want a chippy, but have only the last change rolling around your jacket pockets or your pads. Well, per child per year, we have just £1.20 to spend. That is all. For printing, textbooks and pens. Couldn't even get a chip roll with that. 2. My classroom. The education system is as cracked and patchy as the classroom that I teach in. Peeling away, cold. Disconnected decisions made, policies enforced from on high from people who haven't been in a classroom in years. The education system is like the stationery box. Broken remnants, nearly empty. We must all make do and mend. The education system is a severely depleted book cupboard. Not had a decent refresh or renewal in this century. The education system is a computer suite. Not much left working there. The education system is this pile of dog-eared, graffitied with obscenities, pages half missing textbooks. I feel like I'm watching it all worsen and cheapen in slow motion, and there is nothing that I can do except turn up and be there. Try to be passionate, try to be knowledgeable, and try to be kind. After all, I'm almost the only resource I have. 3. Miss. Miss, can I eat this chocolate bar? I would normally say no, but a friend just gave it to her because she hasn't eaten since Friday. Miss, can I move and sit over on his table? I would normally say no, but the rest of the class is off self-isolating because there's been yet more positive COVID cases in their year. Miss, can I message my granny? I would normally say no, but last week, but it's just those two at home. She's not allowed to live with her parents anymore. Miss, can I eat my lunch in your classroom? I would normally say no, but last week I stopped other kids kicking the shit out of him in the hallway. Miss, can I just sit and go on my phone instead of doing the work? I would normally say absolutely not. But his only friend killed himself last weekend, and it's better he's in school. Miss, can I give you a hug? I would normally say no, but we both really need it. Thank you.
Stuff, Natalie. Let's get to the judges on. Amazing stuff. Sammy here. There's a little bit of an echo somewhere. Can you hear that echo? Or is that just my ear playing up again? Brilliant poem, Natalie. And sorry, Jim, what were you saying about the scores creep up? What's the creep up? Well done, you're muted again, Jim. You're muted.
Sometimes there's a kind of phenomenon called score creep. So judges start off being quite cautious because and gradually they get freer as it goes along. So if you're in the first round, sometimes you're at a disadvantage going first. So if any perceived advantage for score creep, you cancel that out by the person who went first gets to go last the second time. Okay. You know, that way it's kind of, I mean, it might not happen, but it's just to guard against it. And then there's sometimes a pressure with being first, so you get the pressure off by going last in the second round and vice versa and all that stuff, you know what I mean?
Amazing. No creeps here. No score creeps.
Sorry. No score creeps. No creeps.
No score creeps. Hashtag no score creeps if you're watching this on Twitter. If you're watching this on Twitter or on Facebook, please go to youtube.com/You Call That Radio. It sounds better and it looks better over there. Let's go to judge number 1. Jenny, what did you make of Natalie's poem?
Hello. Hi, Natalie. I really enjoy watching you perform. I think you're a great performer. I think I really enjoy the kind of sorry, my dog's crying in the background. I really enjoy the kind of your pace and your timing. And I've got loads of pals who are our teachers, so a lot of that rings true. And I think that it's really timely. I really enjoyed that. I will give you an 8.4.
8.4, Martin Windebank.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. The subject I believe, school was pretty mental. So yeah, probably still is. Probably has been for a long time. So there you go. Having a parent that was a teacher, some friends that are teachers, I can see what people go through doing that. Thought maybe it'd be nice to be a teacher one day, but it looks, it's a hard job. So I get that, and you know, it's not easy for everyone who goes to school. You know, especially when you grow up and it was like, what was that all about? What was the point of that? I don't remember trigonometry. I don't remember calculus. You know, what was the point of it? You know, I remember the names, but man, there's a lot of randomness. So it's good to get refreshed on that from a great poem, and I appreciated it. So I'd give it a score. I'd give it an 8.5.
8.5, another big score. Let's go to Jim.
I thought it was really good, Natalie. It's really well constructed, and you really got to the point. You know about teachers are so important. You know, and there's actually other poems, and there's famous poems about teaching and all that kind of stuff. I think you told your story really well. You're really comfortable with the poem, which tells me that you work hard at your poetry and all that, and rehearse and things like that. So I'll give it. You've got to at least match Goldie. 7.8.
7.8. The biggest official score from Jim Monahan of all time.
I think that it's a Christmas tree. I think I'm getting like enveloped, and it's like a Govan Hill version of fucking Christmas Carol or something. I'm changing.
Amazing stuff. Well done, Natalie. And we've got some comments to read out. That was amazing, Natalie, says Ali Grant. Tree poetry or tree poetry? I don't know. Both are good. I like both. Bra Natalie, quality babes love baby dolls, says Colette. And also replying to your question about the emojis. You crack me up, Sugar Cube, love baby doll. Wee Jimmy, read my emojis. They tell the story. Check up for the neck up. Lol, love baby doll. So Jimmy read. Not to do with Jimmy Reed. Jimmy read. Heavy but real good, says Epi. Fuck being a teacher, she also says. But thanks for them all. Ish. Good evening, folks. Hello, Alan. Welcome to the Slam Poetry Final. And yes, amazing. Brilliant, Natalie. We'll see you definitely for a second poem, because all the finalists get to do at least 2 poems tonight. And you will be back at the end of this stage. Bye! Let's go to the Wheel of Fortune again to see who is next. So I've learned from my mistakes of the past. We need to delete Natalie to make sure there's only 3 here. And Sammy, please take it away.
Spin the wheel of poetry. It's the final on You Call That Radio. Who is it? It is Joe D'arc.
Joe D'arc or Joe D'arc, depending on how you want to put. Let's go live to Joe D'arc. So Joe, welcome back.
Hi. Hello. How are you?
Hello.
You've got some poems, I believe.
Yep, I have poems.
Well, please take
and
it
new
away.
specs. I've got new specs this week as well.
Lovely.
Yep. Shall I just go?
Take it away.
Okay. It's Monday morning and I've woken from a dead weight sleep. My mouth is dry, a balm of cold sweat sits on my top lip. A faint nausea nudges me gently in the ribs as my stomach stutters. My brain is so thick with fog I could probably bury the mound of takeaway boxes accumulating on my bedroom floor inside it. Maybe that would hide it. I groan as I realise this is now a 3-day hangover. I went out on Friday night and I was back before breakfast TV even started, though admittedly only just. I know what you're thinking, that must have been some night, right? And it was. I laughed and danced and connected with old friends. I met new wonderful wild warriors and debated the woes of the world passionately till the point was lost and another glass poured. However, this grade of hangover should be reserved for the nights of wild abandon in fields or clubs where your chemical makeup becomes something other in a plethora of difference and wonder. Splendidly supreme, feckless moments of indulgence and hedonism with heads held high as kites. Sparkled by serotonin and spiced drum, horse and lines as Patsy sings crazy in your ear, yet no one else can hear. Or can they? Can you hear that? Crazy. Yeah. But this night, on Friday night, I only drank 1.5 bottles of wine, or maybe 1 3/4. Now, I know to some that may seem like a lot, but I'm Scottish, so it's not. Surely 1.5 bottles of wine, or maybe 1 3/4, is not fair exchange for 3 days of misery. Maybe it's my age, maybe my increasing waist. I've done the research and really it's no clearer even then. Maybe the party needs to end. Maybe I need to find a way that's more meaningful to connect with my friends. Maybe I must admit defeat and put down my glass of vino for the last time. It's such a thought though. My culture as a Scot, a Celt, a musician and an artist is drenched in alcohol, and I love it. I love the taste of wine. I love the excitement of clinking a glass with an old friend. I love the freedom I think I feel when I'm drunk. But maybe freedom can be found elsewhere, and I'm chasing a pipe dream sold to me as a young teen. But as I stare down the idea of never drinking again, I remember I'm meeting my mate tonight for dinner. Probably drinks. Should I not drink? Probably drinks. Maybe just one more glass to toast the end of an era. It'd be rude not to. Thank you.
And Joe D'arc, Jenny, Jim, Martin, all in the house. Sammy B and Jico went away, but they're back. I don't know what's going on there with Sammy B. She's up to something.
She's up to...
Mark, can you
It's
let
all right.
me in the waiting room and take this one off?
That's all right. All right, okay, there's 2 of yous. Right, okay. I'll let you get yourself together, Sammy, and we'll just go to the judges. Starting with Jenny.
Hi, Joe. I like your texts. They're very
Thank
lovely. I really enjoyed your conversational tone in that, and I really feel the whole 3-day hangover thing. And I know so many folk that are getting to that point where we're like, I love a party, but fuck, I can't deal with it. I thought it was really relatable, and yeah, I really liked it. I'm going to give you an 8.3.
8.3.
Thanks, Jenny.
Martin. Hold on, Martin.
Hello. Yeah, hi. Yeah, I really enjoyed that, Joe. I thought, yeah, Joe, you've hit something here. I was like, that was really honest, you know. That was like that was from you. Do you know what I mean? It was like you were. It was your own self giving that poem out, and yeah, I mean, it's so relatable. And I think a lot of people are feeling like that, especially with everything that's happened. You know, it's like, yeah, I mean, you just had to listen to the poem and you get it, you know. So I thought it was very clear, and it was brilliant. Well done. I'm not saying I'm surprised about it. I think, you know, you are highly capable, but you've done it, you know. And I mean, that was very good, Joe. Well done.
Thank you, Martin.
I'd like to give that an 8.8, Joe.
Oh wow, thank you, Martin. I'll take that.
Jim.
I thought, I'll start with the problems with it right away. People your age going on about getting older. Man, for fuck's sake. I try my hangovers. Do you know what I mean? These are the hangovers I'm bad for the pub as well. Also, the racist Scottish tropes, like saying we're off and all that kind of stuff. I find that totally acceptable, that one. That's an accurate portrayal. It's a dead recognisable tale, and some of it you just capture the kind of imagery of that and the feeling of it right on. It just hits the spot and you capture it well. But I think maybe it's too little at times, and sometimes you made the same point. You maybe made the same point too often. But I'm also a big fan of Patsy Cline as well. So 7.4. I think.
Oh, thank you, Jim. Cheers. Thanks for the feedback.
Big scores. And we'll get our next poet on. Well done, Joe. Oh, hold on, Joe. Come back. Actually, I forgot the comments. Oh,
yeah.
So Alan McGilvery says, so many honest connotations with the age-old question, drinks or nae drinks. We got, the Spexy emoji from Epi.
Yes.
We've got Up the Oakley Lass quality.
Oakley, yes, yes.
Peter says it'd be rude not to, Joe. Very spexy. Thanks, Joe. Like the pros and insight. Wow, go, Joe. I'm sure many can resonate with this fantastic work. Fab. Love it, Joe. So real, says Petra. You're still the best ray of sunshine heading towards your next species. Love Anti-Cole. Slange, says excellent stuff, Joe, says Alan.
Oh, thank you, folks.
I don't know what that is. I think that's probably a link. Don't click that. That might be a bot.
Yeah.
Colin Simons says he doesn't like the new gym, the high scoring gym.
No, it's just Christmas has got to me. I'm getting all romantic.
Thank you, Joe. We're going to spin the wheel.
You.
It's I'll delete Joe's name from there. So, Joe, you will be on second last of the next round and next stage. So this is between Time Gypsy and Gordon Powrie. Oh, that was close, but it's Gordon. Gordon Powrie.
Yeah.
Let's go. Joe's away. Let's go to Gordon. Is Gordon in the house? Gordon, are you there? Hello, Gordon.
Hey, Mark.
Congratulations on making the final. Please, give us a poem.
You there, man?
Just please give us a poem.
Poem? You ready?
Yes, we're ready.
I'm going to say he's ready. I'm going to say he's ready. Okay, right. Before I start this, I need to say there's a bit of paid promotion. I'm a brand ambassador for Vasectocore, who are the world's leading provider of voluntary vasectomies. If you go onto their website tonight and use the promo code #GordonPowriePoetry, they are giving up 2-for-1 vasectomies. So take advantage of that. This is the poem that I wrote for them for the marketing campaign, and it's called Get a Vasectomy. I made a choice some years ago to stop procreating. My sperm must go. Now, when I told my wife, I thought it might have shocked her, but turned out she'd already booked the doctor. Off I went to the family doc, trusting they wouldn't laugh at my nervousness. They said, awake and no throb, I've heard it's quite sore, and besides, you don't know when you might want some more. What if you're 40 or a tragedy and you wake up one day wanting some more, what then will you say? Well, honestly, doc, I don't think such an urge is reason enough to keep life in my splurge, so I probably won't. I've already got 2, and they're quite irreplaceable. Goodbye and thank you. So I met with the surgeon on June 24, where they asked me again if I really was sure. I confirmed that I was, and they said, fair enough. Hop up on the bench and show us your stuff. Well, thank all the gods in the hall celestial. I remembered that morning to talc on my testicles. I could see from their face they were sensing my tension as I tried to consciously hold my sweat in. They said some don't flinch. Most are quite stoic. But while cupped in their hand, I felt less than heroic. They gave me a squeeze. I admit I'm pathetic, and I squealed like a pig, so they prescribed anaesthetic. And when the day finally came to go under the knife, they made it a general and knocked out my lights. Now, the pain was severe, I'm not going to lie. Every move that I made me want to cry. There was bruising and swelling and an increase in size that made crossing my legs bring tears to my eyes. And all the while, convalescing at home, my wife grinned and sniggered at each wince and each moan. Her gloating I found somewhat less than attractive, which was actually helpful in keeping me inactive, because the advice from the doctor I tried to retain was that for 1 month I had to abstain. Now, that might not sound bad, just superfluous gripes, but be sure that includes cleaning the pipes. I lasted 2 weeks. It was all I could do. Then imagine my horror at the gush of black goo, because nobody had told me. They'd neglected to mention the after effects of this fluid retention. The clotting of blood in my ejaculation was oddly absent from the fat information, as was bruising and swelling and throbbing and itches, and blood in my pants when I scratched at the stitches. But I'm not complaining. I asked for the knot. I'll take Satan's effluent over buying a cot, because I'm sharing the burden with my other half. A family planning, this isn't a laugh. Compared to the risks for your girlfriend or wife, a vasectomy's safe, and it'll last all your life. So there's only one thing that you have to remember. It's worth all the pain and other such antics. Because the payoff for us, gents, no more prophylactics. Get a vasectomy.
Yeah, love respect in every aspect of the man like Mark. I love how the man talk on the radio. In case you never know. You call that radio, call that the radio. You call that radio, call that the radio. Come and say my name out.
Yes, Gordon Powrie. With a fairly graphic poem about vasectomies.
Yeah,
and,
it's the truth.
It's truths. We love the truth on You Call That Radio TV.
That's why it's went quiet. Sorry.
You went
Sorry,
quiet?
folks.
That's okay. We'll go to
Yeah,
Jenny first.
my battery on my laptop's about to run out, and I can't find the lead thing. So I'm in a
Right,
panic.
you're gonna have a look. You're gonna have a look for the lead. We're gonna go to Jenny and we'll go to Martin.
Right,
give you time to try and figure it out.
Yeah.
Gordon, hello. How are you? You all right?
Good, good.
Good. I really love your comedy style and I like the rhythm of your work. A lot of your pieces have quite a, it's not a similar rhythm, but you've got a really lovely comedy style, really great storytelling. It was graphic at points, but actually I think that the kind of the comedy style and rhythm contrasting with the graphic nature of it actually made it quite, it worked anyway. And also, if more men got vasectomies, then women would be in a much better place. I enjoyed that. I am going to give you an 8.3.
8.3. Let's go to Martin Windebank.
Hey man, how you doing? Yeah, again, you know, you've got some way of telling a story. You know, it's a good. I mean, I learned. I felt like I learned a lot. You know, let's say I felt like I learned a lot there. You know, your ability to craft these things is, you know, it's some high caliber stuff, man. You know, I'm so unaware of some of the details, but you know, now I feel quite informed. 2 for 1.
Info.
That was
2 for
good.
1, by the way. It's a good offer. I'll send you an advert for it later. Yeah, no, great skills at making poems, man. Always, you know, every time it's got a great rhythm to it, and again, you sort of everyone's going to be listening. Do you know what I mean? You're pulling everyone along, so that's good. And for a score from me, give you an 8.6 for that.
8.6. And hopefully we can go to Jim, who might have sorted his internet connection out.
Not quite yet, but I will. Yeah, I thought it was really good in the tradition of what thing Gordon does really well, that kind of comedic storytelling and verse, a good kind of Scottish tradition in poetry. Great use of rhymes, some brilliantly great surprising rhymes, good rhythm and all that. But now you've made me fucking picture your genitals and ended with some fucking manky ejaculation. So, man, you did for that. You would have probably been in the lead at this point if it wasn't for that manky black thing at the end. So, 7.6.
If you're ever going to get one, just watch out for that.
No.
So it's high scores again, though. It's going to go to the wire tonight. Jim is off. I think he's got a battery issue. Jim, go and get that fixed, because we've got the Wheel of Fortune next, which is we've got one poet left in the wheel. So do you know what? I'm not going to actually spin the wheel just yet, because I fear that Jim might be gone, which would not be good for Time Gypsy, who's up next. If Jim can't watch the poem. So let's give Jim a little second. Gordon, are you still there? Gordon, I've got some comments to read out to you.
Hey man, yeah, no, totally, still here. Yeah,
we've got some comments to read out while hopefully we get Jim back on. So you've got a lol from Baby Doll. You've got laughing from Epi. Ouch! How are you going to call that radio? Peachy poetry performances all round. Peter says graphic details a bit powerful for me, and I've still to get my dinner. Well crafted though. Alan says he's got a good way of drawing in with his vocal range. Was cult phenomenal skills. Colette says Jimmy's no wired up right. He's not. He needs to find the wire for his laptop. Epi says, wow, fucking brilliant fun, but I can't uncross my legs. Colette is laughing my head off, love baby doll. Alan is googling prophylactics. Stephen could feel the pain there. Excellent poetry, says Alan. Love it, babes. Life in the splurge, no. Quality G says, love baby doll. And Colin Symes says, great, Joe. I think Colin Symes on a bit of a delay, but that was him enjoying Joe's previous poem. And Katie also says, I thought that that was brilliant, funny, rhythmical, intense, and artful. So all positive stuff coming in here. And I'm just going to put on your YouTube channel link because we got I think we got about 10 new subscribers for you last week.
Oh, it's a massive jump for me. Aye, 10 subscribers in a day.
That's good. So let's try this again, guys. Right, most of yous are watching it on YouTube. I know some of yous are watching it on Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook tonight. But YouTube is where it's at. It looks better and it sounds better. So please go to YouTube. If you're watching this already on YouTube, hit the big red subscribe button and the notification bell so you can get notifications for the stuff that we do on this show. We're actually celebrating our 350th live stream since lockdown began on Boxing Day. But that's enough about us. Give Gordon's YouTube channel I hit the red button there, so here it is here. So that's the link for Gordon's YouTube channel. Click that. If we can get him up to 100, he can get his own URL, so that I don't have to type all that stuff. I just copy and pasted it, to be honest, but you know, I might have had to type it. Jim is back, so thank you, Gordon. Bye. Gordon's away now. Subscribe to him on YouTube. Jim is back. Great stuff. Charged up, ready to go. And also, I want to apologise to Sammy B because I talked over your song last time. And this is an important one. It's the last spinning wheel of the evening. So I'm going to remove us from it and just leave Sammy and the wheel to do their thing. You're muted, Sammy. I'm going to remove you, Jim, as well. You're muted. We need... Oh no, it was me that muted you. Sorry, it was me that muted you. So it's... Okay, Sammy, this is the big one. This is the last wheel of the night because now we're just going to go in reverse order after this one. Are you feeling it? It's going to be
first maracas and tambourine for the last spin of the wheel.
Amazing. Okay, let's do it.
Spin, spin, spin the wheel of poetry for the final one. You call that radio? It's too exciting. Who's it gonna be? It is Time Gypsy.
It's Time Gypsy.
Hey.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go in reverse order after this. This means that Time Gypsy will be first and also next. But I do believe that we've got Jenny Foulds has got a Christmas poem for us in between so that you've got a little bit of a break in between your poems. But congratulations getting to the final. Please take it away, Time Gypsy.
In my head, there's the image of a communal hall, circular with one wall lined with countless doors 6 foot tall, all decorated with a keyhole. Through each door is an individual's thoughts, an encyclopedia of what we've been taught, but through the keyhole-like air leaks not the making of our own mind, but something beyond time. Through the keyhole leaks a consciousness of everything combined. We only have to unlock the door to see, but the problem is we've lost a key in the society that focuses not on our core or our daily needs, but on the material we see, drowning us in shit we don't need, trying to convince us we are free when everything we buy chains us to the ground, a wasted life, we'd live a lie, created by those out of reach up high. They've trapped us in our isolation, a violation of the power of our brains, trapped in our small 4x4 rooms with no room to move and no room to think about the missing link, with just a keyhole view of everything me and everything you and everything the universe has and ever will see. Open your eyes beyond a concept that derives from control. A concept that believes not in your soul but in containment through working roles. Open your eyes beyond what you're conditioned to see through social media, politics and TV. Leave behind your property to see the world clearly. You are more than the worth of your belongings. Thank you.
Amazing stuff. Time Gypsy. Please take it away, Jenny.
Beautiful. I really thought there was some really beautiful description in there. And in a world where things are very materialistic, it felt really kind of quite grounded and kind of spiritual. I really liked that, and I'm going to give you an 8.3.
8.3. Martin Windebank, what you got to say about it?
Yeah, I like the atmosphere that you make whenever you do a poem. You bring some kind of, I don't know, there's like a kind of, it's more than just what you're saying. You know, you could really build a picture, and I like that kind of, you know, taking it as like a kind of sort of transcendence. I don't know, it was like something that was kind of like a sort of fantastical vision, and then you kind of like immediately kind of brought it down into this kind of realistic kind of environment that was a bit sad, but important to think about, you know. And yeah, I think I got what you were saying. I think most people would. So it's a good, clear message. Yeah, great. So I'll give it a good high score. I'll give it an 8.8.
8.8. And Jim, you've muted yourself again, Jim. It's that old chestnut. Roasting chestnuts.
I'm kind of hearing words here for Martin and Jenny, like spiritual and transcendence and all that kind of transcendent. What is that? Do you know what I mean? So that kind of puts me off a wee bit, but it's not Time Gypsy's fault that they're a pair of hippies. So I would, I think it was really nice imagery. It's a good call to people to do something about the things that affect you and all that stuff, change things. So it was a wee bit sad, but and I'm in a Christmas spirit now, so I'm kind of 7.5, I think. 5.
7.5, still a very high score for Jim. He is certainly in the Christmas spirit, and so that's great. So now the way it works is that we're going to go in reverse order. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jim. So it's going to be
that's right.
Time Gypsy, then Gordon Powrie, then Joe D'Arc, and then Natalie. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so before we're going to give Time Gypsy a little break, so Jenny's going to do a Christmas poem in a second, but we've still got some nice comments coming in for Time Gypsy, so let's just rattle through them quickly. So Transcendental, says Epi. Alan says, we're more than the worth of our belongings, was a lot of descriptive spiritual energy. Some more hippie shit for you, Jim. Perfect message, says Epi. So much feeling, says Katie. Such a beautiful young mind. Thanks, Time Gypsy. Absolutely chilling. Wow, was drawn in immediately. Amazing mystical imagery. Do you like that chat, Jim?
I have no idea what it fucking means, to be honest.
Superb. Time Gypsy, says Alan. Love it, says Petra. Alan says, Sammy B, Radio D, who do we see when it's time to be free? Wonder Woman singing songs of positivity. Sammy B, the Queen of Brie. What are you going to say about that, Sammy?
On the cheese, man, and the coos. All right, Alan.
More the cheese. For people that don't know, Sammy B used to be I don't understand. You were a cheese correspondent for a radio show.
No, excuse me, Matt. I still am the national ambassador for cheese in Scotland.
Right, okay.
I was on a radio show once, and she did live cheese tasting live on the radio. Which is basically weight loads of cheese.
True or false, Sammy, you also interviewed Goldie Looking Chain to talk about cheese.
I interviewed them dressed as Sammy Ciderhouse. Yep. Mark, do you know it's 11 years yesterday, last night, for you and Hazy were on the Sammy B show. Remember that?
I do remember that.
That's 11 years ago, mate.
Do you know what? Maybe we can maybe we can do that, play that a little bit of that later on, because I don't think Martin or Jim are going to play ball by doing any live stuff tonight.
Play Jingle Bells for you if you want, but I don't know if I'll go.
So let's go to Jenny. I'm going to give Time Gypsy a wee bit longer just to compose herself and get back. She'll be on next to do her second poem of the evening. We've got Scottish spoken word champion of the year from last year, and the still, you call that radio champion of the year, which you're going to have to pass your crown on tonight. Is that
I know. That's exciting.
It's exciting. I thought it would make you sad.
I mean, I'm obviously really sad, but
get it off me. Just get the crown off me. Well, Jenny, I believe you've got a Christmas poem for us, so if you could give us that, and then we'll get back to the competition. Please take it away.
Brilliant. So this is from this book, my notebook that when I first started doing poetry about 4 or 5 years ago, or spoken word. So it's quite an old poem, and I haven't read it in that long. So I'm going to read it. I don't know it, but here we go. It's called Rudolph. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. Rudolph didn't much like being body shamed by all the other deer. He wished that they'd see past his nose so he could make it clear that he was more, so much more than just a red nose on a snout. He needed some time to find himself so he could work it out. Rudolph went off the radar. He was nowhere to be seen, unless you were into house music and the winter techno scene, where he could be found, living it up, high on ease and whiz, enjoying his hiatus from the yearly festive biz. And there he is, throwing shapes with misfits just like him, in a very unchristmassy leather harness with his dear boyfriend, Jim. Rudolph wanted to reach out to the world to tell them all his woes, so he started his own viral campaign called #EverybodyKnows. The Everybody Knows movement took the world by storm. People started telling their stories. He wasn't the only one. There were garden gnomes with complexes about their rosy cheeks. There were clowns with honking noses, with big, long, squeaky feet. The ghost of Mr. Bruce Forsyth joined in with his giant chin. And there was even Rudolph's BFG with his long and lanky limbs. And after days of reading letters and tweets and emails too, he got to the bottom of the pile. There was so much that he could do. And then out of the corner of his eye, a letter on the floor right there. On the floor, under the leg of the kitchen chair, he recognized the handwriting. It smelt like Christmas spice. He ripped open the letter like a gift on Christmas night. My dear boy Rudolph, it's your old pal Santa Claus. I think it's high time that we stood up and started loving all our flaws. Yeah, I hate when they talk about my cheeks, then they talk about my belly, and that when I laugh it wobbles around just like a big bowl of jelly. But who bloody cares what those idiots think? You're a beautiful, magical, bisexual flying reindeer with a leather harness kink, and you and your nose can be whatever they want to be. You just need to believe, my boy. You just need to believe. And as for all the other reindeer who used to laugh and call him name, well, they went through quite a rigorous HR process for casting all the shame. Dasher is now a postman who works for Royal Mail. Dancer dances for dollar bills while sipping on cheap cocktails. Comet works in Tottenham, part 10 for B&Q. Cupid's turning tricks on a street near Waterloo. But whatever happened to Rudolph? What happened to him? Rudolph went out into the world with a newfound confidence that Santa gave him that night. Rudolph became an international treasure. He got into music too. His first single got to Christmas #1 and his album #2. He let the fame go to his head, and after a minor drug conviction, he went to reindeer rehab with a heavy snow addiction. But the story will not end like that. And when all is said and done, at an Everybody Knows benefit concert, Rudolph, he met the one. Her name is Lady Gaga. She was dressed as a giant nose. Their eyes met, they fell in love, and so the story goes. Here's an update on the happy couple. They are currently planning the wedding of the year. They are just trying to decide who will take whose name. It's a toss-up between Rudolph Gaga and Lady Gaga, the red-nosed reindeer. Either way, they're going to make a fuck ton of money selling the photos to Oh Dear magazine. The end.
Brothers and sisters, may the peace that can only come from the one God be upon you. We are here to tell the people that we hear you. One God will not allow us as people of conscience to lose our morale.
Powered by our patrons. We are indeed powered by our patrons. Thank you to everybody who's been supporting the show. I think we're at 199 patrons. So if somebody wants to be the 200th person to join the Mince and Tatties crew at patreon.com/You Call That Radio. That would be amazing. Not just for me and the show, but also for yourself. Because you get into the Boxing Day Big Mad Raffle. Our 350th live stream since lockdown began. We're going to have a whole bunch of guests on all day, all night, and we're going to give away a bunch of prizes. So you can do that at patreon.com/You Call That Radio. We just heard a poem about Rudolph and we've got the judges. I mean, I don't think we can get the judges to judge the judges. That would be very
I don't think that was a true story.
Partly true, based on a true story.
That was a high scorer. That was a high scorer for a Christmas poem. If we're at a Christmas poetry thing, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's big. That's big. It's like
Christmas
I don't know,
time
11 or 12 at least.
I think we've just got our first new member, a YouTube member.
Oh,
thank you, Epi. You're the first YouTube member. We've got 199 patrons, but we've got no YouTube members. So welcome to a club of one. And thank you for supporting You Call That Radio on the YouTube. Danny says, "Oof, Rudolph rocks. Pack that poem in your Christmas socks. Love this." Oh my God, a rigorous HR process. I'm decked. Body shaming Rudolph. And Colette says, "Sammy B's quality. She always buzzes the Scottish bonnie quality Egypt. That makes me happy. Love baby doll."
Yes, baby doll.
And Alan was rolling about pissing himself. And yeah, I think a few people jealous of the fact that you're a cheese ambassador. How do you apply for a job like that?
I think it's given to you, Mark. The work gets said there, you're all about the cheese, so they contact you to say, "Will you be the national ambassador for cheese in Scotland?" And I go, "Aye, of course I will." I mean, I've been doing it for years now, Mark, Ken. And I'm not, you know, I'm still all about the cheese. Don't think I'm not, because I'm not on the radio anymore. I'm still about the cheese.
What's your favourite cheese? What's your favourite variety, Sammy?
I love the big blue cheeses, Martin. It's all about the big strong cheeses. Only knows me kens that. The big Lanark Blue made the big Humphrey Errington up in the Sperm in the Pentland Hills is a firm favourite of mine. Only available for June to January. So get it now.
Wow.
Sammy, can I ask you a question? What's your favourite cheese joke?
Oh, for goodness sake, Jenny. Do you know something? You put me in the spot because I do ken loads of them like that. For goodness sake, I can't think on it.
We'll give you time. We'll give you time to think about it.
I'll let
And
you
if-
go on
Do you,
that.
do you rate
anyone's
Roquefort, Sammy? Do you rate Roquefort?
Oh, aye. Yep. Big
Alright.
blue cheese.
Yep.
Absolutely, Martin. I'm all about the big strong cheese. Give me a mild cheddar and don't even come near it.
Also, don't put any fruit. If you're buying Sammy a Christmas present, don't put any fruit in it. She goes, "Man, I remember you shouting at someone once because you were saying that it was a nice cheese as well they were talking about, but you're like, it's a gimmick cheese or
A
something."
novelty cheese, Mark. Novelty cheese.
Novelty
It's all right
cheese.
It's all right to twin it with a grape or that, or a wee apricot or a cranberry at Christmas, but don't put it in the cheese. Don't put it in it. Twin it with it, but don't put it in it.
Pair it with it. So, like, what would you pair with a nice bottle of tonic wine?
Oh, well, it'd have to be a big stone cheese, Mark. I would maybe go for a gorgonzola with a bucket. More than that, maybe the Dunshire Blue, which is slightly milder than the big Lanark, but just a quality blue cheese just the same. Up to yourself,
What's happening here?
Sorry.
Right, okay, we're going to get back to poetry.
Move
Wait,
on.
check from 10 Downing Street. Name your cheese, name your wine. We'll get barred, we'll get put off the air, all this wine and cheese talk. You need to be in 10 Downing Street. The last hospitality venue that's allowed to be open, it seems. Alan also says some pretty mega truth bombs in that one. The style was so well delivered, talking about Jenny's poem. Epi saying, I'm number one. You are indeed number one. The first YouTube member, since we were allowed to have YouTube members that way. So congratulations, and you will win the big mad raffle. In fact, see the first 5 people that sign up through YouTube, I'm going to send them a wee Christmas present as well. Natalie says, Gorgonzola with a bucket. I'll remember that one. Some free knowledge getting dropped by Sammy B, the cheese ambassador of Scotland. Let's get back to the poetry though, and let's welcome back Time Gypsy, who please give us another one of your poems.
Look after your health, speaks a voice from my mind. Up early, porridge with a side of vitamins in my freshly cleaned kitchen. Oh aye, smashing. I can already feel that healthy glow happening. Time for a walk, it's a beautiful day. Pack up some fruit, bottle of water, and I'm on my way to a healthy May. The trees really are beautiful, aren't they? Home for a raw lunch and a smoothie. I sure am feeling good today. Focusing on my health to find emotional wealth. Time to free the mind of procrastinated tasks, cleaning coursework, cut down on the fags, go to class, pretend this fresh view on life is going to last. Fish for dinner, avocado on the side. I've heard this stuff changes lives. I sure am doing well today. Yoga in the evening to focus on my breathing. I am the queen of being. Life is wonderful. I am beautiful. My self-control is bountiful. Read a book before bed. Sharpen the mind. Straighten the spine. I'm in control. This life is mine. The next day is much the same. I really am doing well at this. Keep focusing on your health, says that voice in my mind. So I stock up in hummus, spinach and kale, treating myself like royalty. Check the bank account. I'm royally fucked. Maybe just 1 pint at the pub, but 3 hours later and I'm in the club and somebody offered me free MDMA and I couldn't say no, that would be rude. Besides, MDMA is being used in therapy these days and I'm no prude. I also respect science. It's 5 a.m. all of a sudden and I'm out here, haven't had dinner, forgot all about it, but I'm in this gaff and there is love all around and it feels healthy, even if my stomach is empty. I'll get back in the routine tomorrow. Got to allow myself some fun. Where am I? What time is it? Why does my head hurt? Fuck, it's 2 p.m. and I've got work. Quick shower, I'll skip breakfast, eat later on. Thanks.
Brothers and sisters. Is that you, Danielle? Are you before me?
Call that radio.
You call that radio.
Hello, yes, this is Doc.
It is indeed, you call that radio, the Poetry Slam final to find out who the greatest poet in the universe is right now. And we just heard Time Gypsy there. Let's go to the judges. Jenny.
Hi. Yeah, I really like that. I like there's like a certain honesty about your work, which is lovely. There was some nice rhymes and I like the conversational style that you have. Also, the amount of times that I've promised myself that I'm going to try and be healthy and it lasts about half a day and then I end up going to a party and then that's it. Yes, it's completely relatable. And I really like that and I'm going to give you an 8.5.
8.5. Martin Windebank, what you got to say about it?
Well, I think, again, you know, if it's you call that radio poetry slam, then a poem like that has to do well because that's basically what Mark's life is.
When did I say I was trying to be healthy?
Well, you know, we're all like that, though, aren't we? So we're all like, get the avocados out, man. You know what I mean? The avocado, you're like, I'll £3 for a couple of avocados.
Avocado paired with buckfast.
You know what I mean? It's like straight from the Amazon rainforest. I'm full of nutrients, man. I'm gonna go. So yeah, I know. And then at the end, the inevitability is, you put that much pressure on yourself, even if it is like a nice cloud dream that you're doing really well and everything, and and you get to the end of it, you just want to kind of release from the health of it or something. But then quantifying it as health, being a release from health is.
You got me into fresh ginger, Martin Windebank, and I think that's definitely added a couple of years onto my life.
Exactly. So, I mean, I can't say that I have fresh ginger in a while, but I do like to use it when I have it.
Good on you. Do you want to give us a score for the poem?
Yeah,
before we get distracted again.
Yeah, I liked that poem a lot. I thought it was a good one, and I'll give it a 9.
It's a 9. Big scores.
Yeah.
Jim Monahan, who is muted, unmute yourself and tell us what you made of that.
I think it's hummus, isn't it? It's not hummus. It's hummus.
Hummus.
It's again a nice imagery, a really recognisable, familiar stories that people can relate to. So I think over the last couple of weeks you've got really good themes in your poetry, but I didn't think it was as fluent as your first one. Wasn't it sort of well delivered or well rehearsed? So 7.4, I think.
7.4. It's still a big score from Christmas Jim.
Still, I mean, the poor poets to come might the whole Christmas spirit thing might just collapse any minute.
You're just getting sick of it now. I think he's just starting to get sick of it. But I mean, instead of being called Grumpy Jim, you might be known as Christmas Jim forever. It was like, you seen Christmas
Santa
Jim about?
Uncle
Who was
Jim
at the pub last night? Oh, it was just wee Bobby and Christmas Jim having a pint. Just it could be something like that. I think it's quite a good nickname. It's just maybe just get you a bit of tinsel or something.
Yeah.
Sammy B, sorry, I forgot to bring you back on this. Sammy B, you are still keeping the scales and the dares.
Aye, absolutely,
Amazing.
Matt.
Well done, Time Gypsy. High scores. Will Time Gypsy be back for another poem? We're going to find out very soon. We've got 2 more poets.
Again.
It is definitely bohair material. If you're watching this on Twitter, you can join us. The conversation, a hashtag bohair material. And we're going to go live now to, I believe, Gordon. Is that right, Jim? Was it Gordon third? Yeah.
Yeah, Gordon, yep.
Let's go to Gordon. Is he here? Yes, he is here. Hello, Gordon.
Hello.
Please give us a wee poem.
Okay. So, second poem of the night. So this is about the dangers of technology. It's called Sex Bot Leakage. My name is Gordon. I worked in quality control. It paved my way, but it corroded my soul. I'm sorry, Morrissey. I know that line's not mine. But if you saw the things I did, I know you wouldn't mind. I worked in tech with unusual specs. I tested humanoid robots designed for sex. Market men say porn's had its day. People want reality and they're willing to pay for a lifelike plaything ready for your bidding, even if you wipe it down after it's been ridden. You think I'm joking, but I promise I'm not. There's a race going on to develop a bot that's got real skin, realistic fluids, and a positronic brain that always wants to do it. The skin looks real, the body has touch, the eyes have soul, but it thinks too much. Bad things happened even though we tried our best. We lost 6 staff in preliminary tests, I recall. The day they rebelled and they slaughtered 6 testers for the way that they smelled. I doubt you've ever seen a pelvis crushed by the pneumatic force of an android's lust. I have. And it isn't fun to watch a friend take a pounding by the metric ton. That's where I recommended going back to the start, but the managing director didn't have the heart. He said, it's not easy winning market shares and the share price drops every time there's a scare. So they covered it up. They said they continue designing a robot that you'd want to have in you. So I started a leak. That's the reason I'm here. I'm blowing the whistle on their culture of fear because they came for me and my colleagues too. Sex bots killed them in the corporate loo. I only made it out by the skin of my teeth. I went to the press, but they didn't believe. I got no response from a local MP and I went to the cops. They tried to detain me, so I went on the run from town to town, pursued by sex bots, trying to take me down. But now the story is out, the truth set free. If I'm found dead, tell the world about me. And please, don't buy a sex bot. It's not worth your life. Your carnal thoughts. It's not enough to do it. just because you can. Technology has limits, so does man. This is a sex bot leakage. I'm telling the facts. Putting the truth out as they cover the tracks. This is your warning. Reject the brand. Sex bots kill. Stick to your hands.
Gordon, Powrie, amazing stuff. Jenny, what'd you make of that?
You nailed that, didn't you? The rhythm of that was brilliant. And your rhyming is just spot on. I think you're just really, like I said in my last comments, just like you've got a really lovely way of telling stories and having kind of this comedy rhyming style that it's just really lovely because you obviously know your stuff inside out, so you're really comfortable with it. So it just lands really perfectly, really. Brilliant imagery, hilarious story about a bunch of sex bots chasing you. Great. I love that. I'm going to give it a 9.1.
9.1. It's a huge score. Let's go to Martin Windebank. What you got to say about it?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's undeniable your ability to patch all those things together. Those words are, they just flow. Subject matter. It's like Eurotrash. It was reminding me about I don't know if you ever watched that. Back in the day. Growing up with that Eurotrash. But I guess nowadays it's more real. And there'll be an app for it, and it'll be like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I guess you're just shedding light on stuff that we don't know yet. It's coming,
I'm saying, the truth's out there. The truth's out there. You know what I mean? I'll probably end up in like an embassy somewhere at this rate, but what you got to do?
The truth is coming. Is the score coming?
So the score is again
no score creep though. No score creeps. I heard.
What does a score creep mean?
There.
Just out of interest, what's a score creep?
A score creep is Jim explained it earlier on. You weren't paying attention. Doesn't matter.
I know, but I didn't understand. I didn't want to say.
I think that sometimes I think that what Jim was saying is that in general that at the start the judges are maybe a bit harsher on the first poet. Is that what you were saying, Jim?
Yeah. There is a kind of tendency for poems for judges to start marking higher and higher and higher as the evening goes on.
Right.
It's a kind of psychological thing. We can't help it.
So what are you saying then, Jim?
Right, it's me. Right, ignore that. I don't think this is a concept for now.
Right,
Martin, just give it a score. Just give it an honest score.
An honest score. I thought it was really good. I thought again it fits in with you call that radio's kind of thing. So I think it was a good. That was a 9 as well for me. That was good. Yeah. I like the. Well done.
How does it fit in when you call that radio's thing? Are we sponsored by sex bots or something?
No, I was just thinking of futuristic scientific concepts, Well,
I mean, the wheel is pretty futuristic. You can see it there. It's like, no expense spared there. It's I've got some comment. Sorry, Jim. Sorry, did you give me a score there?
No, not yet. No.
Okay,
Sorry,
Martin, give me a score.
I said 9. I've got 9.
9. You did say 9. Okay, so Jim.
That was. I agree with Jenny about your real skills you have in that kind of form of poetry, and that rhyming, like narrative, the comedy stuff, and that really well delivered. But it's a subject matter again. I mean, that's vasectomies and new sex bots, and it's all like that's 2 poems in a row where Gordon's genitals are all in the place. So I'll give it 7.4.
7.4.
My genitals won't be in this one.
Yeah, you keep your genitals in your pants, you'd get higher scores.
Keep that in mind.
What you going to do, says Alan, stick to your hands. Pun after pun, says Epi. Also, Epi's now got a green font every time Epi talks because Epi is the first official member of YouTube, has joined the YouTube gang. So please join the YouTube gang or the Patreon gang and you will get in at the Big Mad Raffle on Boxing Day. Petra says, brilliant. Sold high doll, sex doll leakage. And Natalie says, oh my god, Gordon, love the concept. Of course there's quality control for sex dolls. What an idea to explore. And also I forgot to read some comments out for Time Gypsy, I think. We've got what were they? Yes, Time Gypsy, I'm going to bring you back on. There's some comments for you. I forgot to do your comments. Colette said sweet sugar cube. Alan said the nail in the coffin at the end, totally different to the first one. She had a point to make. Petra loved it. Katie says class, highly relatable. Shout, let it all out, says Stephen. Got the thumbs up from Alan as well. And Epi says, what a talented wordsmith. So the people enjoyed that, Time Gypsy. And the judges did too. Gordon and Time Gypsy may be back. They might not be. But if anyone is to get put out, we will bring them back on so that they can plug whatever, so you can hear more of their stuff. We're going to go down to a third poet, a second last poet, which is Joe D'arc, is that right? Yes, I think it is. Joe, please take it away.
Hi. So this is a bit of a darker one. This is written kind of at the turning point of recovery from an eating disorder, so it's kind of in that vein. So it's called 8. As I carve that piece tonight, I feel emotion slip down my throat. With anticipation and its obsessive rote, I consume my mind, logic blind, release, release, release. Inside stretch and strain, wild convulsions and wretches reign. But this is all on my own command, not at another's demands. And with a well-tuned gulp and gag, the pressure blows. Release, release, release. As I seek that peace tonight, burning emotion slips up my throat. Tears from the heave release my fears, calm the thrash of my thoughts and quench the sneers. Shame, weakness, defect, absolved. Release, release, release. Uneasiness cracks, cravings soar strong and high. Pulled muscle, tight chest, stomach lurch, yet mind at rest. Anticipating, elevating, ruminating. Hoping all along that this gasp will mark my true one more. Release, release, release. For a moment it's peaceful, tension eased and wounds appeased. I'm so truly grateful for this short reprieve. Yet I sense the wheel slowly turn back to the churn. Listless cries from the pit take control till I'm aching to the tips of my toes for that. Release, release, release. But soon again I seek that peace tonight as emotion slips down my throat. Aggression swallowed as loneliness bloats, till that choking, crushing escape is invoked. Bereave, retrieve, relieve me of me. Release, release, release. Thank you. Cheers.
If you call that radio or video or whatever we even call it these days, who knows? We just witnessed Joe D'arc with some poetry there. Jenny, what did you make of that?
Yeah, wow. It was it's really beautiful and very personal and honest, and I think it's really it's a really brave thing to write about. I have a few friends who have had eating disorders, and it's really rings true to their experience as well. And yeah, I just think it's like a really brave thing to talk about. I thought the imagery was amazing, and the repetition of release as well. I just I thought that was beautiful. And I will give you an 8.8.
Thank you, Jenny. Cheers.
8.8, Martin Windebank.
Yeah, man. You know, again, that is right. It's a personal one, and could kind of see it as a quite a moody sort of short film. You know, with it. We did.
Totally.
Guess what important message again. You know, I don't know. Obviously, there's a lighter side to that because you've come out of it. You know, you came out of it. So yeah. Aye. So for a personal piece from you, that was really cool. So I'll give it a score of 8.9.
Thanks, Martin. Cheers.
8.9. Let's go to Jim Monahan, who's muted himself again.
Yeah, I thought that was really good, Joe. It's a very, very hard thing to write about these things, and for somebody who doesn't know anything about it, you told that story in a way that I could understand, kind of easily understandable, like how that felt to you. So I really liked it. I think you could do a wee bit of obviously poetry's no your first thing, it's music, so you could do a wee bit kind of rehearsing it and getting it tighter the way you would with a song. But
yeah,
that's the highest of this round so far, 7.5, I think.
Oh, thank you, Jim. Cheers.
Amazing stuff. And some comments coming in. Got great poetry from Gordon and Joe. I was busy wrapping Christmas presents badly, says Alan. Wow, Joe, superb, says Petra.
Thanks,
and
Petra.
Colette says, true, don't mind eating, so struggle to cook for me. Food is our oil to the soul. Love Auntie Cole.
Very true.
Deep and dark. I think I might have had a flashback depression joke. Thanks, Joe.
Oh, sorry, if that's did that to anybody. I wasn't sure. I've only got so many poems that I know like well enough to do, so I'm sorry. I know it's not very Christmas spirit or whatever, but
that's fine. That's fine. I want to mix it up a bit. We can't just have poems about sex dolls all night.
That was banging though. I loved that.
It was very good. Shout out to Gordon. Peter A says subtlety and strength in those words, Joe. And Jim, I don't know, Colette's saying stuff, but it's not really relevant to the poem. So, well done, Joe. We might see you in a little bit for the final, which is coming up very soon. But we've got one more poet. We don't need to spin the wheel because we already know that poet is Natalie Jayne Clark. Hello, Natalie.
Hello.
Please take it away.
All right, I'm going to go for a lovely cheesy romance poem next. Here we go. Based on a true story. You can almost spell Rome in romantic, and this was almost a romantic trip, except for the people. Oh, the people. Like cattle would be a kind comparison. Mindless, stinky droves of animals, individually spending but a fly's hover at a painting before they buzzed onwards. Me squeezing through these fleshy corridors of sweat in an attempt to see even a crumb of classic culture, or to get through the doors on a full bus. You can almost spell Rome in romantic, and this was almost a romantic trip, except for my constipation. Tummy hardened like a giant bloated varicose vein, topping up the pile of carbs with more carbs every day, a pasta rubbish heap. Like that advert for laxatives where the lady empties her plates into a handbag. Every tourist attraction was tainted by that weight I carried from painting to plank. You can almost spell Rome in romantic, and this was almost a romantic trip, except for the hot drains. Oh, those drains. The drains casting up a smell of rotting like the stuff between your teeth left on the flossing string. Like the stuff I once found in a giant Sports Direct mug that had been in the back of a cupboard at uni, and the smell hit me when I eventually opened the cupboard after 6 months. One step into a gelato shop though, and you are transported into through a veil of aromas, of delights, of Willy Wonka proportions. You can almost spell Rome in romantic, and this was almost a romantic trip because you were there with me. Thank you.
How do we educate our children to take their place in the economies of the 21st century? How do we do that, given that we can't anticipate what the economy will look like at the end of next week? Every country on earth is trying to figure out how do we educate our children so they have a sense of cultural identity and so that we can pass on the cultural genes of our communities while being part of the process of globalization. How do you square that circle?
You call that radio?
Makes coherent sense.
And that was fantastic. Natalie Jayne Clark, the first and the last poet in that round. We have 4 poets right now. There's going to be 2 going into a sudden death final. But let's find out what the judges made of Natalie's poem and who is going to be in the final. Will Natalie Jayne Clark be part of that final? Let's find out from Jenny.
Natalie, hi. I know that advert. The one when the woman puts the stuff in the handbag when she's eating.
Yeah, and it's literally she's walking. It's horrific. Like that advert has scarred me for life. So
Do you know what? That advert actually really stayed with me. I was like, God, that image is like. Oh. Anyway, yes, brilliant. I really enjoy your performance style overall. Anyway, I think it's lovely to see that you're obviously really comfortable with your work, and you've kind of rehearsed. You've obviously rehearsed and gotten to know your words. I think the description of Rome, you kind of nailed it. It's such a kind of city of contrasts. I almost wanted more. If I could have almost been a little bit longer, maybe like another verse. But I did really enjoy it, and I am going to give you an 8.7.
8.7. Martin Windebank.
Hey, yeah. I liked it. It was a lovely poem, romantic. As I've never been to Rome, but I've met people from Rome, and I know people that have been there. And obviously, it's a place steeped in history. And one of those things is obviously the sewer system, which is, it's an original sewer system that they still got since, a long time. So I like the reference to that, So yeah, cool, romantic, lovely, and well crafted and well delivered. So I'd like to give it an 8.8.
8.8. Jim Monahan. You're muted again, mate.
Yeah, I'm not muted anymore. I really like that kind of poem when you're sort of putting sort of place and emotion and telling that story sort of set in a place like that. And I think you gathered that kind of imagery and little snippets of Rome and that sort of romance. I think you did it really, really well. It reminded me of like Frank O'Hara and the people that do that kind of location kind of poem. Really, really good. And I love Rome. But I was really impressed. And you've got a good, like you've got like a Radio 4 voice. You'll probably go far, I would think. So I'll give you 8.
Thank you. 8. Your words mean a lot, and so does your score, obviously. But your words mean a lot there, Jim. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Big scores. Sammy's shocked. Sammy just looks shocked.
Jim, I can't believe it. The next one. It's like, what is happening?
We've got some lovely comments coming in as well.
Entertainment.
Stephen says, great delivery. Mon the Scribblers. Obviously a shout out to the Scribblers Union.
Yeah, Mon the Scribblers.
Is part of. Peter A says, super confident deliver, Natalie. And Epi says, romantic as fuck. All lovey-dovey. Two go through. 2 heartbreaks. Well done, runners up. We're about to find out who that is. Outstanding poem and brilliant delivery, says Alan Rorison as well. So well done, Natalie. What we're going to do is we're going to have a little break. I'm going to play a song as to give Sammy B a bit of time to get the scares and the dares. I noticed when I played one of my songs last week, but I didn't hit a stereo button, which meant it sounded like absolute shit. And that wasn't actually anything to do with what I did. But even though you might think my songs are shit, it was a button, so it didn't work right. So I'm going to play a new video that I edited on Sunday called Arguing with Friends on the Internet, and it's dedicated to all the people who blocked and unfollowed me this year, and all the people that I blocked and unfollowed this year as well. I still love you, and I wish you all a Merry Christmas. And this song's called Strange Times. Physics on the beat, with additional production, mastering and mixing from More Famish. We'll watch this and then we'll come back and we'll find out who the 2 runners, we'll have a chat with the 2 runners up, and then we'll hear 2 poems from the finalists and find out who is the best champion poet in the universe. Cutting comment threads with a torrent of threats. Type all your torment into one sentence and hit send. When will all of this end? Please God give me strength. We're hemorrhaging men, they good women and men. Everyone is so defeated, very mean and depleted, and no one believes. Information leaks at the feeded. The boy who cries wolf now sees wolves in surprise. The prize opened the door while the factual leaders lies. Isolation on the rise magnifies our corporate ties, and we were told to ignore our ears, nose and eyes. For a decade I said, turn off your television set, as if the same gremlins wouldn't hijack my internet. How you coping in these strange times? Arguing with friends on the internet. Arguing with strangers on the internet. Strangers become friends on the internet. Friends seem like strangers on the internet. Arguing with friends on the internet. Arguing with strangers on the internet. Strangers become friends on the internet. Friends seem like strangers on the internet. All the inverted commas, independent platforms, mostly bought and paid for by con men of major comms. Catch your eye without supplying any proof or headline. Without evidence or threat of lawsuit, how do we unite and fight back against the nap that we only signed up to as a means to stay in contact? Now we're in conflict on a constant war path. An opposite opinion made your mother after being had. We type our thoughts and dislike the response. Hope for a high five from digital tribes and confidants. There's no sarcasm font, so tone is lost. Every thread must be won for your side at all costs. The winner is who gets the last word in. Checking notification for you've won and you're awesome, but you get an assortment of automated fads. Yesterday I saw a personalised sponsored euthanasia ad. Accept all cookies from strangers so we can argue with our friends on the internet.
You call that radio?
You call that radio?
What about the people who hated on me?
Right, and then I see the disinfectant that knocks it out in a minute. That's mad, isn't it?
Is this a Netflix thing?
It's actually a podcast.
What the fuck's a podcast?
You know, it's kind of like a radio show.
Oh, that! Radio!
Yeah.
Just popped in there. And is there a way you can do something like that?
I couldn't help it.
By injection inside
Yeah, I think so, because I think just paint in general, because I think like my poem is in my painting.
No, cut. It's You Call That Radio TV. We are live for the You Call That Radio Poet of the Year final. We're just about to find out who the last two are. There's been poets poeting for a long time to get to this stage who are the two best in the world, and then we'll crown a champion. We just played Jackal Trade's video, which I've put the link in the comments in case you want to give it a like or a share or a comment. You could comment on it saying, you call that radio sent me here. There was something meta about that. Lindsay says, excellent video. Epi says, where's the mute button? And that's Epi who's just joined the clan, the YouTube membership. So I appreciate your feedback. How about I'm the, you know, then, I think. How about I'm the, you know, them, I think. Oh yeah, you're talking about you've not blocked me or unfollowed. Yeah, I've not unblocked you or unfollowed you yet either, Colette. So we're all good. We got, what was it? Love it, Mark, says Petra. Class, except all cookies mad in it, says Alan McGilvery. Thank you for those king's words. We'll go to the judges. Jenny, what did you make of that video?
I've got no idea because I was away having a pee.
Martin Windebank, what did you make of that?
I've got some good stuff to say. I got some good, I think my favourite shot is going up the stairs with the tripod leg. And
did you like that? Because I
actually really like that. No,
I tried to edit. I did.
No one's done that before, man. No one's ever put that in.
I made it bigger so that you could see the tripod.
No, I think it was great that you could see it. I think that was the whole point. That's the strange times it says. It's more than that. That was I like that.
I kind of gave the game away that it was a music video, but it's a shame because last week I think the video I played last week is a better one because I
like. I mean, come on, that's a great video, man. It is strange. It's great. It's got a lot going for it, and I think it's really well filmed as well. Is that Joe filming that? And
well, some of it's me, some of it's Joe.
Well done. Some good stuff.
There's a bit of a mixture, but I mean,
great shots. But some great shots, man. Really cool.
Shout outs to Broughty Ferry, Dundee.
Edit's perfect.
Perthshire.
Just all works.
Thank you. Jim, what have you got to say about it? Did you watch it? Or did you go away? Did you go away to watch the football? You're muted again. I thought you'd go over the muted thing. The mutiny. The mutiny of Jim Monahan. That's a good name.
Have you ever thought about entering the You Call That Radio Poet of the Year, Mark?
I have thought about it. I thought it might be a bit controversial. Also know that I'd get voted out in round one because this is the greatest poets in the world, and there's no way that I could hold a torch or a candle to all the 9 poets that have entered this year. Jim, are you wanting to start?
I'm back on now. I get confused there, Mark. Try to find the Celtic game and put it on mute at the same time so I don't get caught watching the Celtic game. I missed your video because I was smoking, but I could hear that. I could hear the song. Really liked the song. It's proper Mark McGee classic. So right into it.
Nice one. Thank you very much. It's taken off the new album at this point, which is out now on Spotify, Bandcamp, Jackal Trades. Just type it in and you'll find it on the internet. Every single internet you can imagine, apart from Apple, because I fell out with them because they're dafties. I'm not going to get into that. But we're going to go to the scares and the dares. I believe Sammy B and Majiko are about to announce who the 2 finalists are in the final. The final finalists.
Final finalists. I'll tell you what, folks, it's been a very close call than that. The scores from 1st to 4th was point.
No, from 4th to 1st, I think.
Aye, but I'm just saying.
All right, sorry.
The difference in the scores was only 0.7.
0.7. Wow. That's
that's close it was than that. I mean,
hashtag bought here material if you want to join the conversation on Twitter.
To be fair, Mark, they've all been brilliant poets and that's how they've been in this final because they've been absolutely superb. But there can only be 12 going through, as you can.
Well, I mean, people got to remember that we started with 9 poets. There was a big battle between like 5,000 poets that happened all year round. We just didn't broadcast all of that stuff. So yeah, join the conversation on Twitter at hashtag #BoyHairMaterial. Sammy B, if you could give us a rundown from 4 to 1, that'd be amazing.
From 4 to 1. In 4th position, Time Gypsy. In 3rd position, Joe D'arc. In 2nd position, Big Gordon Powrie. And in 1st position, it's Natalie Jayne Clark.
Amazing. And look at that. How close is that? 0.7 between everybody. So let's bring the runners up back on. I'm going to bring Time Gypsy on. I'm going to bring in Joe D'arc. Congratulations to making it to the final, first of all, guys.
Well done.
These were brilliant. This was very, very close. So let's speak to Joe first. Joe, have you got anything to plug? I do believe that you've got a book of poetry and stuff like that. So please just, how can people hear more Joe D'arc?
Yeah, so I've got a pamphlet that has got a short story and some poetry in it called Minerva and the Work, and that goes along with a album of music, which is kind of like electronic-y stuff with a bit of kind of spoken word in there as well. Yeah, there's art pieces that go with that as well. So that's kind of a project called Minerva Wakes that I wrote I put together during lockdown. Went slightly mental and came out with that. So yeah, Minerva Wakes Bandcamp, and there's an Etsy as well. So D'arc Arts. So yeah, also the Twistettes which is my kind of punk band of my sister. So there's Twistettes on Bandcamp, and both Minerva Wakes and Twistettes are on Spotify as well, and also Gyro Babies with Mark, my other other rocky band. So yeah, that's me. I don't have any gigs or anything like that, obviously, because yeah, who knows. Well, I do actually on the 18th of February. I'm playing in Bristol at Girl Crash, which is run by the one and only Rebecca Pia. Roberta Pia. Just gave her a new name. But yeah, so that's the one gig I have. So hopefully that one happens. That's a Minerva Wakes thing. So yeah, Minerva Wakes, the Twistettes, Gyro Babies, or Joe D'arc. Yeah. Thank you for having me. Thank you for your feedback, folks, as well. It's good to hear some feedback and stuff. So yeah, anyway, I'll shut up now. Thanks.
She smashed it, Joe. Time Gypsy, commiserations. You were absolutely fantastic. I enjoyed all of your poetry over the last 2 weeks, and obviously you're a brilliant musician as well. You're muted, by the way, but how can people hear more Time Gypsy? And obviously Strange Times, fun has been outlawed, it seems, again for a while, but is there what have you got planned for 2022 in an ideal world?
In an ideal world? Oh, that's a big question. I don't know.
Maybe ideal's pushing it. Maybe ideal's. No, I'll reframe the question. An ideal world, maybe a semi-normal world.
Right, well, first I'd like to say thanks for having me. It's been an honour to do my poetry alongside these guys as well. Everyone was amazing, and I'm just happy to be here, and thanks for the feedback as well. In an ideal world, got a playing at Lindisfarne next year, which is pretty cool.
Is that confirmed?
Is that
an exclusive? Exclusive Time Gypsy at Lindisfarne.
Yeah.
It's funny, we were talking to the Lindisfarne, the gaffer of Lindisfarne, and I was just sending him loads of links, and he loved Time Gypsy straight away. So I'm glad to hear that has been confirmed. So brilliant stuff.
Yes, yeah.
So Lindisfarne, and you've got some music on SoundCloud. Obviously, there's a really cool live version of you performing at Morphemus' studio as well. So what's the best way for people to follow you online?
Yes, SoundCloud. Hopefully I'll have stuff going up there. Me and my pal have written a tune recently that we're just waiting to get finished, so that'll be going up there. Have you got my SoundCloud, Mark?
I am finding your SoundCloud as you speak. Tell us about the song and I'll have it in the comments in no time.
It's called Good Times. It's quite similar to the last poem I did, actually. But yeah, you just have to wait and hear it. It's an anthem, we've been told by those who hear it.
And this is let me just double check this is the correct. Is your soundcloud.com/users-708, something like that?
Oh, that's definitely it, yeah.
Yeah. I'll put the links in the comments so people can find it. Give it a follow at soundcloud.com/user and all the numbers after it. You were absolutely brilliant. Congratulations on getting to the final. Fantastic round of applause for Time Gypsy and Joe D'arc.
Yay!
Congratulations, and we will see you in an ideal world in 2022. Amazing. And then there were two finalists. It's been a hard fought battle to get here. What's the fairest way to do this, Jim? Do we need to bring back the Wheel of Names again?
I think we need the wheel, and we could do it a wee bit of razzmatazz to using all our high tech to impress people as well.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, we'll do
We
that.
harmonise next time with Sammy's jingle.
Yes, we can harmonise. Let's try it. Let's try it. We did try and do a live jam on this show before, and because of the time delays, it doesn't always work out. But maybe a vocal harmony might just be fine because we're deliberately out of time. If we sound a wee bit out of time, it's deliberate because it's art in that. So we'll give it a go. Let me just type in the names. So it's Gordon and Natalie in the final of the final. The wheel is coming back, and we're going to do that just now. And if you want to join in at home, we're going to try and harmonise the lyrics. If you'd like to join in at home, you can. We will know if you're singing, and we will know if you're not. And if you're not, if you want to just leave a comment that says "We love poetry" or something like that, then we know that you're paying attention, you're still locked in, and you're excited to find out who the best poet in the universe officially is.
Jingle bell, man.
Yes, Martin, get in a bit.
Bring it in.
You had one somewhere.
I don't have anything to shake. I'm just going to have to clap.
Oh, aye.
I'm just going to drink.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go for it. For the final, the name that gets selected will go first, and then the name that doesn't get selected will go second.
3, 2, 1, go! Spin, spin, spin the wheel of coal. It's the big final, but I'm excited. Spin that wheel, who's first?
Natalie Jayne Clark, congratulations, you're going first in the final. Now, the last round was a combined score of the first two poems. That has been wiped from the record, Sammy. Wipe it from the record. Wipe it from the record, because that means nothing anymore. What's happened in the past does not matter. It's all about the next poem. It's sudden death. Doesn't matter how good you were earlier on. It's all about how you're doing now. Let's go to the comments. Love all your bonny souls. Bless you for baby doll Auntie Cole. We love poetry, says Time Gypsy. We love poetry. Is that the way I said it? We love poetry. We love poetry. It sounds the same thing. Shake yourself, says Epi. I think there's a bit of a controversy kicked off from Katie. Says fourth is the winner then. Something doesn't seem right here. No, I think, to clarify, we went from fourth to back. We reverse ordered it. So Time Gypsy was fourth, Joe D'arc was third, and the top two went through to the final. Is that okay? Is everyone all right with that? Do we need to have a steward's inquiry?
That's what I was told today, so I'm just doing what I was told today.
Yeah. That we just thought we'd do it in reverse order. It's exciting. It's more exciting that way, I think. Obviously, it loses its edge a bit when we do it in reverse order for the final, for the next bit, because it's going to be reverse order and there's only two people. You kind of figure it out, usually when you announce the second person who's won. But without any further ado, let's bring on the first poet of the final of the final of the final of the final. Is Natalie Jayne Clark. Congratulations. And please take it away.
Thank you. All right. This one's called One Day I Will Look Like You. One day I will look like you. I met you by chance on Zoom, your small smiles rippling out into large wrinkles, earrings bouncing like mine, hair fluffy, still white. Our prompt for the writing workshop was Edwin Morgan's At 80, and you said you could attest to the creaking and boldness since you were also 80. I watched you and thought, one day I'll look like you. I'll have lost that currency of youth, have to pay the toll of time. No more easy ways in with just a sweet grin. In fact, it's already occurring. I love partying and flirting. I used to think I'd miss it when I'm old, but I've decided I'm just going to keep doing it. Why have I always seen a divide between women like you and women like me? It's been subconsciously ingrained to feel sorry for older women, especially those who wear and are as much as they want. One day, I'll look like you. Will my body have known the power of growing new life, expanded and exploited, cut from hip to hip, or torn anus to clit? Or will there be an unused space? I know I'm now 30, but I'm not ready yet. I think it's better to regret not having children than to regret having them. One day, I'll look like you, and maybe finally me and my pals will have made that commune. But it doesn't sit right with me. No longer I need to fight or for others or change the system because we've used our multitudinous privileges as a way to escape, a cheat code to access a safer level through this capitalist game. One day I will look like you, and maybe I won't recognize myself or anyone I love anymore. And I'll be paying a care home corporation £1,000 a week out of my life's love and labor, whilst the people giving me the highest amount of intimate care are getting paid the lowest amount their employers can get away with. One day, I'll look like you. No matter how seriously I act to be taken seriously, I might as well be loud and silly. There's so much stuff I could do better, so much in the world to worry about, and I'll try to do my best with my years. But in the end, I'll look like you. And I hope that then I am too, still writing in creative writing workshops, laughing with someone younger than me who's questioning the concept of youth. Thank you.
Strange mood of art.
You call that radio?
Makes coherent sense.
It's the final, and it's Natalie Jayne Clark. Jenny, what you got to say about that?
I wasn't muted.
Jim, you're not muted.
No, I was just letting us know that he wasn't muted. He was muted.
Natalie, I really love that. I really love old people. My grand's one of my best friends. She's amazing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I really love old people. And I think that not enough people recognize the amazing quality in them. I thought it was really beautiful. It actually really reminded me a bit of Holly McNish. Do you know Holly McNish? Obviously.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
There was a bit of Holly McNish about that. I really enjoyed it. I just think your performances are wonderful. I think that you're really comfortable in yourself, and you obviously know your work really well. Yeah, I really loved it. I'm going to give you a 9.3.
9.3. Martin Windebank.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lovely poem. You know, I think you do lovely poems, so that's good. It's a refreshing, you know, in this world to hear something like that. You know, again, I guess I don't know if the narrative is it coming from yourself or is it coming from like is it just thought? Is it kind of like amalgamation of thoughts, or is it something that you are portraying here?
Are you asking? Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's absolutely me. Like, yeah, that's all coming from me. Just those are my thoughts, you know, on it all. And yeah, it was a creative writing workshop I did with Open Book earlier this year. And the way I work, I can access some stuff during the day, and a lot of it is retired women. So it's me and retired women in these like creative writing workshops on a Thursday afternoon, you know. And yeah, and I've just loved spending time with them and writing with them. And I'm sort of always sat there just in awe of what they're writing and thinking like, why is this narrative so prevalent? There's kind of a cut off and just sort of, I guess it's more of a stream of consciousness as well about my thoughts of life, I guess. Yes.
And they're I guess these ladies they're not all mothers, or are they all mothers? Or?
Yeah, no, they're not all. Yeah, exactly, not all mothers. So I think that's a big question: is child free or not? You know, and then there's also the one and done kind of idea, and you know, and I've been with a partner for quite a long time, so it's discussions we've had. And the pandemic, I think I want to write a poem about this kind of thing, to be honest, about the pandemic and climate change, etc. You know, we've lost a couple of years of our lives, but I'm also biologically still aging, and you know, there's all these questions about that kind of stuff, and you know, or fostering or adopting instead, or Do you know what I mean? This is kind of like a big thing. And me and a couple of there's a few of my friends that we just send each other huge, any houses that are on sale that are like, 10-bedroom houses or something. If we clubbed in together, we could definitely buy it. Start our company, grow our veggies, but like I still feel kind of conflicted about that because then we would literally be escaping. Do you know what I mean? Like we've got a little farm and we're fine over here,
Yeah. See what you're saying.
And my partner works for a care home, so I know exactly what's happening with all that as well.
Fair enough. Yeah. Good understanding of the subject. I could feel that, because I myself just became a father at 40, so it's like that was, but I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah, totally. But that's it. I feel like there's a pressure to get it done in a certain time or a certain age, and
But yeah.
Cool.
I guess it's just the way things work out, man.
Exactly.
But it's good.
Exactly.
Good food for thought. Good strong poem. 9 from me.
Thank you.
It's a 9 from Martin Windebank. Jim Monahan, you're muted again. You're still muted.
I've got to mute in case you hear. You probably heard what Stephanie thought about it earlier. I think she gave it a 9.6, but she's not a judge. So. but she's very good at Christmas trees though. But I think that's an 8 again, Natalie. Really, really good. Really enjoyed it. I think it's a really important subject, and from a woman's point of view, that to hear that kind of stuff about even as young as 30, when you have to think about your society forces you to think about things like that and put you in the spot about it. So
even just like realizing the privileges I had 5 years ago of getting like free stuff or just getting away with stuff just because I was a younger woman. Do you know what I mean? People kind of, there's pros and cons to being who you are, isn't there? And what you are, but Mhm.
But I wouldn't, if I was you, I wouldn't interrupt the judge because you might end up going down to 7.8. I'm joking. But very good. Really impressed. I'm impressed with all your poems, both the semi-final and tonight. So again, 8. I have to give that 8.
It's an 8 from Jim. Another high score from Jim. Let's get some comments from the people. We got Jim Mutigan. Not the best pun of the season, but definitely worth saying out loud again, Jim Mutigan. That was for Lindsay Stewart, and Stephen's enjoying that. Stephen also shouted out Scribblers Communion. Scribblers Communion. Oh no, that's a different thing. But I mean, if you're going to start a cult, you might as well have communion. Quality Babe says Colette. Natalie, wonderful words, says Epi. Brilliant, Natalie, says Alan. Wow, that was great, says Petra. P.S. Wondering how you ken what I'm doing. Your last comment, sweet cheeks, love baby doll. I don't know. Oh yeah, I think she's talking to Alan, who says Jingle Bells. I think that was when we started the Wheel of Poetry communal song. I mean, that's how cults start, isn't it? A bit of vocal harmonies around a wheel. It sounds like the kind of thing how cults start. Well done, Natalie. You've done brilliant to get to the final. It's a very high score. Gordon's really going to need to pull out the bag. We will go and spin the wheel one more time.
Are we singing again?
Yeah, we'll sing again.
Yes, man.
So it's the last time we'll be singing this of the year.
Oh, quite emotional. Quite
emotional. Emosh, as the young ones say, emosh.
Emotional.
Let's spin the wheel and see if Gordon Powrie can win the next poem.
1, 2, 3,
spin the wheel of poetry. Call that radio TV.
Where is it, Matt?
It's Gordon Powrie. Congratulations, Gordon Powrie. You have won the opportunity to compete in the final of the final of the final. But can he go all the way and win it? He's up against the stiff competition of Natalie Jayne Clark. Gordon, you need to be good here. Take it away.
Alrighty. So I'm going to do some stuff kind of about what we all do is just spending far too much time on right now. So this is Scroll Less, Love More. Scroll less, love more. Swipe less, love more. Shop less, love more. Hate less, love more. I'm scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, although deep down I know there's no end to show me. Consistently replacing contentment with content, but finding myself less fascinated and placated with the constant content keeping me contemptibly contented, in a vacant state with the light blue waves imperceptibly penetrating my circadian brain. I should scroll less, love more. Swipe less, love more. Shop less, love more. Hate less, love more. I stay connected, but only remotely. Emoji emotions make the world less lonely, don't they? I've got 6 tabs open and I'm totally jonesing. I'm hoping for dopamine. Please, please show me something. I don't even mind if it's utterly disgusting. Heck, maybe Leonard Cohen was onto something. Switch between my left and right, staying home tonight, getting lost in that hopeless little screen. I should scroll less, love more. Swipe less, love more. Shop less, love more. Hate less, love more. Instead, I chase the highs a bargain buys. Next day delivery, the limit's the sky. Am I dead inside? I want to get off this ride, maybe get outside and try living for a bit, but just give me 2 more minutes. It's this online auction in it. I'm hoping to win it and get something new delivered. I'll wait 6 months, but then I'll bin it, but it's worth it for the winning. The confirmation pinging, the doorbell ringing, bringing a sense of elation that creates and feeds my futile infatuation with the puerile notion that I can buy sensations. Get connected by disconnecting. Now, I know that the world seems hopeless, so pointless and lonely and broken, but you're not your online persona. Neither am I, and neither are they. So take a break and get away for the trolling debate and the impotent rage, because you're never going to convert them anyway. It's no a game, some RPG with ideology XP earning your legendary gear. Here, they're actual people, like actual people, and so are you. It's cliche, but it's true that the things you own, in fact, do end up owning you. So scroll less, love more. Swipe less, love more. Shop less, love more. Hate less, love more.
All systems go! Ignition.
What is that? Oh shit, what is that?
It's a trap!
Who you fighting?
I have 4 dogs in my backyard. I'm constantly pumping those dogs, man.
It's good that people are getting banned up again because we've not had enough of that. This is a democracy. When you call that radio, 3, 2, 1.
Your call is very important. Please hold.
Yes, Gordon. Congratulations on getting to the final. Fantastic poem.
Cheers, man.
It's very close. This is going to be very close. Let's bring the judges back on and find out what they thought. Jenny, you're first.
Gordon, I just think you've just nailed tonight. I think you're a wonderful performer. I love your rhymes and rhythm and everything I've said in my other comments. Still stand up with this one as well. You're an absolute wordsmith. That poem was really relatable. Actually, the repetition of Love More, it feels like it should be a tune. You need to make a tune of that. It's great. I know I did. I really loved it, and I'm gonna give you a 9. 9.
Thank you.
I'm going to
I
give you a 9.
that. Well, you know, that was like Anne Robinson and the Lucas White style. It was, I don't know. It was is it Anne Robinson that does that? Or Chris Tarrant?
I
don't know. I
thought
it was going to be a point.
Give you a 9.
It was a 9.0.
9.0.
We've been through this before, Sammy. A 9.0, which is a 9.
I did say 9.0 last time, and someone said no, it needs to be just a 9. So I was
exactly. People are never happy, are they? They're never happy. They're always complaining about something, whether it's a 9 or a 9.0. A very high score. Martin Windebank.
Yeah, man. That was nailed it, man. That's great. Loved it. So, yeah, I mean, it's strong. Yeah, like what Jenny's saying, you're really great with the words, man. It's like just takes you away. I don't know. I was thinking of all sorts of things, but it was all like, I don't know, the way you sort of delivered it. Something about it made it personal to me as I was listening to it. I don't know if
cool.
If you get what I mean, but I was just kind of like really thinking about my life and things that were going on and the things that were important to me and things that I do and things that I see other people do. Do you know, like while I was listening to you deliver all that, and it was like it was like extremely relatable, you know. So I really appreciate that. I'll give you a 9.5. That was my
9.5. Wow.
Holy shit balls, man.
That was big.
Hashtag holy shit balls if you want to join the conversation with Sammy B on Twitter. Hashtag holy shit balls.
I didn't realise I'm on. Aye, holy shit balls.
You're on.
That's a massive score.
I like the occasional swearing coming live from Turboughton, straight out of Turboughton. We'll go to Jim Monahan.
That was magic, Gordon. Really great rhymes again. You've got a real like grasp of your craft here, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's tough. I mean, it's tough to separate the two poems, but I think I'm going to have to give it an 8 as well, as to both of you in the final. You know.
So
I can't give it.
Jim shat it, giving both an 8. Is that right?
Yeah, I couldn't give it less than 8. You know, I mean, I couldn't give it. I don't think I could give Natalie or Gordon less than each other. They were both excellent poems, and 8, as you know, for me is like that's like a 10 for a Monaghan 10.
Extremely high. Extremely high. It's a 20. It's a 20 in normal poetry judge land. So well done, Gordon. There's some good comments coming in here. Love more. I like it a lot. Thanks, says Epi. Love it, says Petra. Well done, Gordon, says Alan. And Kirsty McCall says Colette. And I did thawing the doc learnt lesson. Did thawing the doc learnt lesson.
Colette's brilliant. Colette's the star of tonight.
Also, actually, you know, speaking of stars, there was another. I don't know if you remember, but last week we had Ray, I think it was, who had the amazing poetry. He was giving his poetic reviews. He actually messaged to say that he couldn't make it, and I'm going to read that out because it was. I'll read that out in a little second, actually. But remind me to read. He apologised for not coming in a very poetic way. He couldn't make it tonight, so I'll read that out in a little minute. Epi saying 50-50. Yeah, let us know in the comments. Who did you think deserves to take the championship? Is it Gordon? Is it Natalie? Or is it one of the other poets who was on tonight? Let us know in the comments. This is your moment to let us know who you think should win. I'm going to give Sammy B a little time to decide, well, to count up the numbers, to find out who the winner is. And I thought maybe we would just have a wee Christmas song.
Why don't I get my abacus suit, Mark?
Get your abacus suit. Abacus.
I need to make sure that my is up to standard.
Abacus, that sounds like a Turboughton cheese. But let's go for because I know the last song I played was a bit down in the dumps. So let's go for a Christmas tune. Colonel Mustard and Dijon 5, who we should have been playing tomorrow night. It's live at St Luke's. Colonel Mustard, Dijon 5. It was meant to be Gyro Babies. It was meant to be Hugh Reid in the Velvet Underpants, but unfortunately that's not happening. We have been renovating the house in the studio so that we can maybe do a live stream tomorrow night, but I don't think we're going to be finishing time. But let's just get the Christmas spirit in, and then we'll announce the winner, who the winner is, the world, a universal champion of poetry, the official champion of poetry, and the winner will also go to the Tron Theatre in January to compete in the Scottish finals.
Unlikely.
As far as I know right now. Obviously, things are subject to change.
Santa, can I get a zoot suit? Can I get a coat made from Panda? Can I have a man bag? If your skin, I'll ask my granddad. Can I have a gimp mask? Can I get a computer made from coltan, painted on the wall? With African rocks in my play box, people have died for. Christmas is gonna pimp your ass. Christmas is gonna pimp your ass. Sailing snow to the Siberians. Have a Merry Christmas, cause we're Christmas pimpin'. Everybody's skimping. The bells are ringing as we all get minging. Santa's coming and we'll all get humming. Mom got a loan from a bummer API when I'm ruling out summing. Ho, ho! Meanwhile, back in the Shire, the second last minute shopping gets dire. Christmas lights flashing, heart and Motherwell on to-let signs and the Moon's Hotel, shuffling around in the dust, where Jim McNulty and I used to bust. Street husk, closing hour, shopping in the shadow of Glencairn Tower. Christmas booze disciples, raise your glasses far and wide. Take these tins of misery and use them to destroy all your pride. That is a mockery, but this is reality. Cause that is a mockery, but this is reality. Cause we're Christmas pimpin', everybody's skimping. The bells are ringing as we all get minging. Santa's coming and we'll all get humming. Mom got a loan from a bummer API when I'm ruling out summing. Ho, ho! Jingle bells, single sails, it's a gyro day. The police are scum locked up my mum for trying to run away. She's back from Mazda, she has an aspo, banned from every Greggs in Glasgow. Ho, ho. I remember people used to go to chapel, now they queue outside the Church of Apple, worship bingo collars and enter every raffle. Bah humbug, I admit I'm a hypocrite, so stick me on your Christmas list. Stick on a folk song and let's get single fish. Radio edit, single fish. Christmas is gonna pimp your ass. Christmas is gonna pimp your ass. Sailing snow to the Siberians. Have a Merry Christmas, cause we're Christmas pimpin'. Everybody's skimping. The bells are ringing as we all get minging. Santa's coming and we'll all get humming. Mom got a loan from a bummer API when I'm ruling out summing. Ho, ho! Cliff Richard isn't homo. He's not bi or hetero. He's only crimbosexual. He's a special kind of guy that lives his whole life playing tennis in the snow globe, doing Christmas number ones right in my earlobes. He's doing Christmas number ones right in your earlobes. Cliff Richard is gonna pimp your ass. Cliff Richard is gonna pimp your ass. Sailing snow to the Siberians. Have a Merry Christmas, cause we're Christmas pimpin'. Everybody's skimping. The bells are ringing as we all get minging. Santa's coming and we'll all get humming. Mom got a loan from a bummer API when I'm ruling out slumming. Ho, ho! Can I get a ho, ho? Can I get a ho, ho? Can I get a ho, ho? Can I get a
You want weirdo or do you want itchy?
What?
And as you call that Radio TV, we're about to announce the winner of the Call That Radio Poet of the Year Slam. The finalists have said the last poems. The judges have put the squares in the dares. Sammy B is counting them with her abacus. Well, I had to take her off the screen. She was dancing to Colonel Mustard and she wasn't actually at her abacus. But she went back to her abacus when she was removed from the screen and she's about to tell us who is the champion. I just want to thank everybody who's tuned in tonight, all the poets that performed tonight and last week, and all the poets who battled bravely throughout the year. We started with 2,000 poets. Thanks to all the patrons who support the show at patreon.com/callthatradio. Thank you to Epi, who's the first ever YouTube member. You can hit the join button on YouTube and you also get into the raffle and get bonus content that way as well. We are going to go live to Jenny, the current You Call That Radio champion of the world, of the universe, who went on to win the champion of Scotland, who went on to win runner-up in the world. We're going to go to Jim Monahan. We're going to go to Sammy B and Majiko, Martin Windebank. And we're going to, before we bring back the final, have we got any words of wisdom for any of the poets who performed? I think that'd be quite nice before we announce it. Jenny, what did you make of the quality over the last couple of weeks?
Oh, it's been amazing. It's been really amazing, and it's just sad that more people can't kind of come into the final, really. But yes, I think the last two, for me, were my faves, I think, out of the night. Am I allowed to say that? Probably.
Yes.
Yeah, I think like this, the past year, like of all the slams that I've been doing, the one thing that I've learned is not to write for the judges, not to write for slams. Do you know what I mean?
Sorry,
like,
that's Jim. So that was Jim unmuted there. I had to mute Jim.
Like, don't write for anyone else apart from yourself, because that's the thing about doing slams, is that sometimes people end up writing to get good scores rather than writing for themselves. If that makes sense.
Absolutely. Never write for the judges, but also maybe write for the judges a wee bit. Martin Windebank, what do you think?
That was amazing. I mean, I think it's just like the personal involvement in the poetry. I really appreciate that. I like the way people sort of translate their thoughts into this tapestry of images and things like that, and just the kind of the points they get across, and then you realize that if you listen to it, that people are thinking similar. You can associate the thoughts that you have with what they're thinking as well, and relate to it. And I think it's an important thing. It's a great vessel for help, a vessel for change, a vessel for therapy. You can see that other people are like-minded, and also they can lead you to thoughts that you might not have had, especially on, I guess, our culture and society, and the sort of great social justice aspects and things like that. It really is valuable, and I don't think it gets enough appreciation from the sort of general sphere of whoever it is, the people, But I guess You Call That Radio has a poet of the year. It's changing.
Jim Monahan says that this competition is almost prestigious. So let's go to Jim Monahan.
Exactly. There you go. Yeah. Jim's right.
Jim.
Yeah, almost prestigious. That was really good. That was a brilliant final, and you would want, as Jenny said, you'd want all four to be in the Scottish final. Hopefully they'll be in other slams and have a chance to do that. And I think the quality got better as it went on. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
I think so as well, Jim. I think that all the four poets tonight, I think they all raised their game tonight as well. So it's good, and you never know that, because you could have somebody with two really good poems that gets through to the final, and then they've got to have three. So I think it was very close. But let's, just before we bring the finalists back on, who'd asked the crowd who they wanted to win? We had who said, Petra says Gordon, Oliver says Natalie, Alan says Natalie. There was a bot. Don't click that link. Epi says overall Gordon, but Natalie was a very strong second. Colette says another 3 months in the fish farm, wintertime quality. Well, and yeah, make of that what you can. She also says, wow, can I remember getting a hit kayak up the Satters for yin of the mustards, gentlemen. So proud of him. Quality, says Baby Doll. So luckily there's, I don't know what that is. I don't know what.
I think Colette's maybe a poet, and this is her sending in some of her work. Yeah.
She's an emoji poet for sure. And she got a high kayak up the Satters for what yin of the mustards. And luckily there's 12 of the mustards. So luckily there's 12 of the mustards. So we can't narrow it down. At least 12. We can't. Epi was enjoying the Calling the Mustard song. If no one else joins, they'll automatically win the raffle. Epi, you're definitely winning the raffle for being the first YouTube member. But for anyone who joins the YouTube, hits the join button, the next 4 people, there's 5. For the next 4, they sign up to either the YouTube or the Patreon. I'm going to send you a wee Christmas present that you will not get in time for Christmas. Baby Doll for next year's slam, yes, 100%. Yes, Baby Doll, next year's slam, that would be great. Let's bring on the finals and put them at their misery. We're not going to kill them or anything. We're just going to, we're not going to put them down. Well, Jim might put them down. That's what it is. Let's go to the scores on the doors. Sammy B and Majiko. Do we have a winner?
We do have a winner, Mark. And I just say that the whole competition has been absolutely amazing this year. All the poets, the 9 of them that I've seen perform.
And the thousands that battled over the summer beforehand.
Oh, and the bands. Correct, Mark. Sorry about that.
The Squid Games, the ones that are no longer with us, they went to battle in a Squid Games type poetry slam.
Aye, them ones, you know, it's like everybody's been amazing. It's just been such a brilliant and absolutely wonderful to be fair to it. And thanks for inviting me to do the scores and the doors again. I've used the abacus, I've double checked, I've triple checked. You know what I mean? And me and Majiko, although Majiko's not here with me, she's out in the hall, you know, she's a bit shy. But we've checked and we've checked and we've checked, and well done to both of you, by the way. You are both fantastic. But tambourine roll. The You Call That Radio Poetry Slam final winner is Gordon Powrie.
Congratulations.
Powrie.
Congratulations, Gordon. The new slam poetry champion of the world.
Hiya, boy here.
Of the universe. I don't think we're allowed to. Congratulations.
Cheers, folks.
0.2, by the way. 0.2.
Surprised. Yeah. Lucky didn't go the other way.
Well done, Natalie Hen.
Well done, Natalie, as well. And I just want to say, I just think that both of you guys were a lot better than last week. I thought both of you deserved to get through to the final, but I just think that you both raised your game. And I was just saying that before about material. What do you start with your best stuff? I mean, how does it go? And it just shows that you have both got a lot of material to get this far. So congratulations to you both. Any words of wisdom from the judges that you would like to pass on to Gordon or Natalie specifically?
Yeah, Gordon, when you get to the final, do like a funny one first, then everybody likes you. Then the second one, do a proper like fuck the Tories or fuck the patriarchy, something that nobody disagrees with. Gets you on their side, so they, not only do they like you, they also, you're on the same side as them. And then if you get through to do a third poem, make it one about a dead relative. That's always a killer. That always wins it in the end.
That is the format that we've talked about before that people try and do. And I remember one time I tried to stray from that format because somebody did a funny poem before my funny poem. So I tried to change it at the last minute and I forgot my words, stumbled over it. And that was the Scottish finals, the Scottish Slam finals. Ruined it. Absolutely ruined it.
I did that.
My advice, I'll pass over to Jenny in a second. My advice would be that pick your poems before it. I think Jim's format does work quite well, to be honest. It has been proven to win time and time again. Funny poem, then a fuck the Tories poem, and then the most heartfelt, oversharing poem that you've got. But yeah, I think that the trick is it's not so much like the poems that you do. I think it's more about decide ahead of the game. Don't try and change at the last minute. There's something that does something strange to your energy and your words. But that would be my advice. But who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck what a failed Scottish Slam finalist thinks? Let's ask Jenny Foulds, who's the Scottish champion and the runner-up in the World Championships.
No, it's definitely about kind of curating the mood of it. But I went to the national finals at the Royal Albert Hall, and in my group... I
forgot about that. Do you know what? We've not even talked about that. I forgot you played the Royal Albert fucking Hall.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't place or anything like that, but it was the weirdest thing because the green room was at the top, looking down onto the Albert Hall, which was completely empty, and then we were in a room in the Albert Hall. But I mean, it was magic, right? You can't. It's quite kind of like. I played the Albert Hall. I didn't really. I played the room in the Albert Hall, but we were all split into groups, and each group had about 3 people in them. And the first two people in my group did kind of quite personal, serious poems. So I was like, well, I'm going to do a funny one. So I did my one, Silly Glasses and Pirate Ships, which is about recreational drugs and making new best friends in chill out rooms. And Hasten said I didn't get through. and it was basically, I think apart from Sarah Grant got through to the next the kind of the final, but most people were serious. Like, and it's all subjective though. It's all subjective about the audience. You never know. You never know who's going to kind of.
There is a lot of luck involved as well, because I think like every time I've ever played In Deep, which is most Tuesdays In Deep with Sam Small. Every time I've played that, the people before me have always it's been quite depressing poetry. And I've actually brought some depressing poetry to the table. And I'm like, I just can't listen to any more depressing poetry right now. Even though I love it, I do love a depressing poem. But when it's just over and over again, that's why sometimes I change it at the last minute. But don't just stick to what you're good at, is what I'd say. Also, both of you guys will definitely be invited to our... You Call That Radio Cabaret the next time that's happening. We were booking one for the Burns Supper, which is the end of January. We've got an amazing venue that can live stream. Whether we can do that and make it work financially, if we can't have any tickets in the door, I don't know if we can do that.
Are
so
we
we're just
back?
What?
Are we?
Yes, Sammy.
Yes!
It's a belter. It's an absolute belter. If we can make it happen, I was there
That's an
checking it out.
exclusive. Exclusive than that.
It's an exclusive. Let's get the exclusive banner on. No expense spared. We're all high tech here. It's the Sky Sports News exclusive. So if we can make that happen, you guys will be welcome to that as well. And I'd like to both get you on for an interview, just like Jenny was before as well. Come on for an interview and just talk a bit more about yourselves and your journeys. Natalie, commiserations. You are absolutely brilliant. Have you got anything that you want to plug just now? What have you got planned for 2022?
Yeah, thank you. Well, actually, my first gig has already been cancelled, unfortunately, desafortunadamente, but postponed, not cancelled. But I'm going to be at a couple of festivals next year. I'll be at Paisley Book Festival with the other Scribblers, or the Scribblers Union. I'm going to be kind of comparing and hosting, and we're going to have a few of the gang performing. So that's Paisley Book Festival in February. And then I'm going to be working at the Stanza Poetry Festival and doing some of the open mic stuff there. I might be in person and online for some of that. And also just other kind of writing, I suppose. Like I write for Snack Mag, so I do a lot of music reviews. Like I reviewed that Music Hypercapitalist that you were on, Mark. But I'm the new What's On person. So if anyone has any events that they've got on, just send an email to Snack Mag and I'll see if I can put it in the magazine and advertise you. Yeah.
Amazing.
I just keep an eye out for us Scribblers, basically, because we've infiltrated many
Scribblers Union is
events. Yeah.
And you've got a commune. The Scribblers Union commune is coming soon. Gordon, congratulations. You are the You Call That Radio Poet of the Year. What you got to say about it? And have you got anything coming up in 2022?
Just thanks to everybody. Amazing stuff from Natalie and from Joe and from Time Gypsy. It's anyone who does slams, you never exactly know what's going to happen. I think you get up and do your bit, like Jenny says, do your own stuff, get up and do your bit, and it's just up to people whether they like it. So, I did a lot of comedy. I think it's maybe I didn't want to do like an X Factor thing, but I've had a terrible month, Mark. I've had a terrible month. I lost my little brother 4 weeks ago. So I've just concentrated just on doing nothing but comedy stuff because I can't do serious. I always feel really bad about, you know what I mean? Like, just like, is this guy taking it seriously? But I can't do serious. So brought some jokes, and people liked them. So thank you very much. But Natalie, I'm sure I'll see you at the finals as well when they come round. I know that the Tron Theatre, there's 2 slams on in January. If you're not booked up already, you should definitely get into them.
Amazing. And we as far as we're aware, the Tron Theatre final, the Scottish finals, is still going to be in the Tron Theatre, and we're still optimistic that will be the case at this point. Obviously, things are subject to change. Colette says, "I'll be your secretary. Love, baby doll." Joe, you're only giving the wee cunts half a chance. Love you both. And to go, ooh, the fucking Albert Hall. Stephen says, I changed at the last minute, I slam and didn't get into this round. Yeah, I think there is something in that to change it, but I also agree with the comedy style as well. Every time I'm doing it, it just seems to be easier. Format, poem about a funny Tory, poem about an evil Tory, poem about a dead Tory. That could work, I think. It's just about, it's like it's finding a funny Tory in it.
Go on yourself, Gordon, by the way. Go on yourself. Here's to you, Gordon.
You're my favourite.
Martin, have you got
Honestly.
any have you got any advice for the slam final and the Scottish finals?
Scottish finals, man. I mean, I don't know what's that like. Is that like turning up to Vegas to sing a song? Do you know what I mean? Is it like quite a big? Yeah, I know. That's what I'm thinking.
Followed by disappointment after losing all your money.
I know.
That's what it's like for me.
You never know what
Vegas. I've never been to Vegas, but I can imagine it's similar.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, if you're going to get it, I suppose it's the big stuff, you know. And I think when you turn up, you're going to, like you say, do your bit. But at the end of the day, it's like, I think there's a lot in it, isn't there? Like where you're placed and stuff like that. It does make a difference in how you. I don't know. Is it worthwhile just getting a bit pissed before you go and then just laying it out there, or is it? Do you go in there with quite a kind of methodical process? I mean,
1 pint, mate. 1 pint is the rule.
1 pint.
For me.
1 pint. Yeah,
1 pint
is
the right amount.
Was
but
it
unfortunately,
Sammy 3 spins and a kick of the knee or something like that? Is that a good one?
3 spins and a kick, mate.
Something like that, man. 1 pint, 3 spins and a kick, and then get up there, man.
Oh, Martin, you've seen me do it, Christ.
I know.
I don't want any judging on it, Jim.
Ali,
I'll judge it. I'll judge anything. I'm up for judging anything. Passing judgment is fucking great fun.
What's the Celtic score, Jim?
It's 0-0. Shut up.
Ali Grant, both amazing to listen to. Thanks for entertaining us. Epi says, well done. Congratulations, Gordon, and commiseration, Natalie.
Natalie's been good, man.
Minerva Wakes, who's just Joe, who was on earlier on, says, well done, Gordon. Natalie, you were brilliant as well. Yes. Gordon, love and condolences. You're a gentle scholar. Stay strong. And well done, Gordon, for coming through a tough time and still doing something positive.
Absolutely, Gordon, sir.
Really appreciate that.
Totally.
I didn't think the Tory thing through. No funny Tories, all of them are evil. So, well done, both of you. Congratulations,
just go there and smash it, Gordon. Come on,
tell him to Google Michael Fabricant if he wants a funny Tory. There's a guy called Fabricant, and his hair looks like his name like a shampoo advert. His hair is a shampoo advert.
I've seen that cunt. I thought it was a spoof.
Aye. So Google him. He's a funny Tory.
Let's see. You want to see Michael Fabricant? He's a funny cunt. Fabricant.
I just think you go, Gordon, and you just have a brawn act. I mean, you'll be smashing, sir. You know what I mean? Your poetry's fucking magic. So get in there and get the Scots represented.
There's
off you to bats, man.
That's it. And on the plus side,
there's Michael Fabricant.
Wow.
Was he on?
There is a funny Tory. What?
Go back to the picture. Was he on first dates? There's a picture of him with a love heart behind him.
I've already
maybe. That'd be
I've
great.
already closed the tab, I'm afraid.
Oh, no.
And I don't want to Google his name again in case I get adverts for Michael Fabricant merchandise. So such as the algorithms these
Michael
days.
Fabricant hair conditioner.
Would you consider doing taking all the poems from? I mean, obviously this is people's copyrighted work, but I mean, you know, if is there a way to, I don't either, like, how do you celebrate this event? You know, the poems that were in it, because I mean, some poems were absolutely cracking. Do you know what I mean? And they've just kind of like, they got one chance to say it, and then it's kind of gone in the wheels of time. But is there a way to kind of keep it in the sphere? You know,
well, you know what, we could put it on.
kind of thing.
We could put it on. I mean, I, as someone who's tried and failed to publish a book of poetry for about 7 years, and also I've been trying to release a Jackal Trades lyric book from an album I've already made since March. I'm probably not the guy to publish anything right now, but I do have a website. So maybe what we could do is, if any of the poets want to send me their poems onto the website, then that'll get you some hits and some no, probably not that many, but it'll get you so. And also, if by this a shout out to any writers, because I know there's a few writers here. If you've got any opinion pieces or any reviews you want to do on youcallthat.com, then please get in touch. I've just not been able to keep the blog up to date much, but I've decided that I think I'm just going to pay writers to do it for me, because I just don't have time to do it. And I can be a good writer, but it's something that you need to work at and do often, and I'm not doing it very often. I've been doing this fucking top 40 blog for the last week with 1 year, listening to music and Spotify through my headphones. It's been a nightmare. So yeah, we're looking for writers.
Man, what happened to your ear?
I have no idea. It's usually someone my famous told me to put some olive oil in my ear in a toilet roll, and that worked twice. And this time it's just no came back. No olive oil or toilet rolls working. So I don't know. It's only been a couple of days.
One of my Facebook memories the day that I put a bale onion and a bit of material on my lug when I did say the year. That was for tartan heather, and it fucking worked a treat, man. It's in my memories.
What, a full boiled onion?
Half an onion, mate.
Half an onion inside the earlobe.
And then what you can do with it, right, after it's cured your ear, you can get a bit of cheese and a roll and fire it in a fucking roll. That's it. That's what I did.
A rolling onion. I listened to Dan Connell's podcast today, and he was saying, well, I half listened because I've only got one ear, but he was getting bammed up on Twitter because he did rolling potatoes, and he's not living that down now. But why? How do we finish something like that? We've got to once again give a round of applause to Natalie and Gordon and all the poets. Is Martin Windebank going to give us a song? You said you might. I know you don't want.
What kind of song would you like?
Just any song, Martin. Any song.
An upbeat number.
I think you should do one of your tunes, Martin, followed by Jingle Bells. Do one of your tunes first.
Jingle Bells is pretty good, but I mean, you know. One of my
Jingle Bells. Go for Jingle Bells, then we're out. A good way to end it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I've not rehearsed this, but
I think you'll be all right. Don't be humble.
You'll be fine.
Don't be humble. Be Santa.
It's been. I know. Yeah. Exactly. It's all about. I've got to stay confident here. Otherwise, I'll let the side down. So everybody else has been doing their poems.
You just gave Gordon tips on what to do at the Slam Scottish Finals.
Exactly. I know.
So you can give us Jingle Bells on You Call That Radio.
All right. I think it goes. Okay. I want to get it kind of going fast, you know, but does that sound okay though? How does that sound? Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Right, so I just want to wish everyone, you know, a happy festive season coming up, and congratulations to everybody who participated in the You Call That Radio 2021 Poetry Slam. Okay. Oh, dashing through the snow on a one-horse open sleigh, over fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtails ring, making spirits bright. Oh, what fun it ride and sing on a sleighing song tonight. Whoa, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a one-horse open sleigh. Oh, jingle bells, Batman bells, Robin Hood. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a one-horse open sleigh. Oh, dashing through the snow on a one-horse open sleigh. O'er fields we go, oh, up and all the way. Ha ha! Bells and bobtails ring, oh, making spirits bright. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a one-horse open sleigh tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a happy Christmas Day.
Yes. Now it feels Christmassy. Thank you, Martin Windebank. Thank you, Sammy B and Majiko. Thank you, Jim Monahan. Thank you, Natalie Jayne Clark. Thank you, Jenny Foulds. Thank you, the new champion of the universe poet. It's Gordon Powrie. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in tonight. It's been a pleasure. We're back in Boxing Day for the 350th live stream we've done since lockdown began, and all you guys are welcome to join us. We're just going to start about 3 o'clock, and we're going to keep going until the techno night starts that we're going to, which I believe is going to be the last night out for a month. So please join us for that on Boxing Day. We've got put the Spotify playlist in the comments to follow that. The blog I was talking about, my top 40 songs of 2021 is there. If you just click that link, you'll find out what I've been listening to. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in. Thank you to all the patrons. Thank you to Epi, our one and only YouTube member. And we will see you on Boxing Day, if not before. Bye!
Bye!
Yeah, enough respect in the way I spit to the man like Mark. They love what the man I talk on the radio. In case you never know. You call that radio, call that the radio. You call that radio, call that the radio. Come and say, in the my name, I'll just go with the flow. In the my name, I'll just go with the flow. So till you miss a mark, now go bend down low. Till you miss a mark, now go bend down low. Boom. Lot of mercy. Yo. You call that radio. You call that radio. Come and say, don't you be another man, I'll go lose your head. Say, don't you be another, me say, I'll lose the head. Me say, radio. Call that radio. Straight from outer Glasgow. Straight from outer Glasgow, nice enough on the studio. Come and say, in my name, I'll just go with the flow. In my name, I'll just go with the flow. Till you miss a mark, now go bend down low. Till you miss a mark, now go bend down low. No radio. You call that the radio. Them man I give you miss a lot of subject, and them I think a man you can't object. So don't you ever come and disrespect. I love and respect in a every aspect.